And welcome to the 28th season of Evansville Otters Baseball. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bosse Field. I'm Griffin Epstein. I'll be joined by Lucas Daunhauser in a few moments. The Evansville Otters open up their 2023 season tonight here at Bosse Field against the Washington Wild Things. It is an absolute pleasure to be joining you here on opening day and all season long through 96 Otters games. For Evansville tonight, they're coming off an excellent 2022 season. The Otters finishing third in the Western Division of the Frontier League, 52-43, bowed out in the wild card game to Schaumburg, trying to get back to the playoffs this year and bring it back to Bosse, as the saying, trying to win their third Frontier League championship and their second under Andy McCauley, who enters his 14th season now at the helm of the Otters. They'll face a really good Wild Things team tonight here at Bosse Field. Washington won the Western Division of the Frontier League last year, also lost to Schaumburg in the divisional series. Washington returns a lot of firepower from their team last year. So, going to be a fun matchup, and it's going to be a lot of fun because Evansville native and national champion with the Syracuse men's soccer team, Lucas Daunhauser, joins me now here on the Otters Digital Network. Lucas, a pleasure to be calling games with you this season.
Yeah, great to be here, Griffin. It's nice to be back in the hometown, back calling games, and I'm excited. Big season ahead, a lot to be excited about for the Otters, and the rain held off for us tonight. A lot of people are starting to pour into Bosse Field, and it's beautiful to see it filling up again.
Yeah, we got a good crowd. It's been a long wait through the long winter before baseball is being played, but we do have a great crowd tonight. We were a little worried about the rain off and on the last couple days, but it's actually mostly held off, and we're expecting dry skies through the rest of the evening. Not a lot of wind, and pleasant temperatures around 70 degrees here as we are approaching 6:35 local time. Well, let's meet the starting lineups. We'll start with the Washington Wild Things trying to defend their Western Division title from last season. Nick Gouda, the shortstop, will lead things off for the Wild Things. Tristan Peterson will bat second and DH. Wagner Lagrange, the left fielder, will bat third. Melvin Novia, the catcher, will be in the cleanup spot. Andrew Check, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Anthony Brocato will bat sixth and play right field. Bottom three in the lineup for the Wild Things: Ian Walters playing third base, Scotty DeBrule playing second base, and Harrison Ray, the center fielder, rounding out the lineup in ninth. Just quickly on the Wild Things, Lucas, we were talking about before the broadcast, a lot of really strong batters. This is a very tough series for the Otters to open their season.
Yeah, no doubt. The Wild Things certainly had a lot of success at the plate last year, batting fourth in the league with a team average of 283, and like we talked about, returning a lot of players. Definitely will be fun to watch. They're definitely bringing back a lot of firepower on offense and defense for sure.
On the Otters side, we'll take a look at the first Otters starting lineup of the season. The Otters starting lineup starts off with Brian Rosario leading off, returning Otter and playing left field. Noah Myers is a new Otter. He bats second and plays center field. Ethan Skinder is the second baseman. He'll bat third. Dakota Phillips, back for his fourth year of Otters ball, is in the cleanup spot playing first base. Jeffrey Baez, the right fielder, will bat fifth. Omar Reyes, new addition to the Otters, will bat sixth and play third base. Bottom three in the lineup for the Otters: Jacob Olson bats seventh, and DHs Justin Felix, the catcher, bats eighth, and George Khalil, the Australian shortstop, rounds out the lineup for the Otters in his second season here in Evansville. Starting pitchers today: Tim Holdgraver is the starter for the Otters. He's making his second consecutive opening day start, and Kobe Foster will see in the bottom of the first inning. He will make the start for the Wild Things. We'll talk a little bit more about him on the bottom half of the inning. Now you are also joining us on Floor Sports. We apologize for the delay, so thank you for tuning in on the TV side, as well as all of us who've been through with us on the pregame show on the Otters Digital Network. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauser, our director Michael Russ. Beautiful evening for baseball. As you can see on your screens, the Otters have taken the field, getting ready to face the Wildcats. Just always so exciting, Lucas. First game of the season, opening day. The winters are long and hard in the Midwest, and this is a day so many have been waiting so long for, and especially the players, too.
Yeah, no doubt. This city always comes out and supports any sports team that takes to the field or court in this city. It's been the colleges for long months, and now, as we can see here, Bosse Field starting to fill up, and we got a beautiful crowd here this evening.
So we'll take a look at the Otters fielders. As we mentioned, Tim Holdgrafer, the righty who made it all the way up to AAA Toledo last season with the Tigers, now returns to the Otters to make his second consecutive opening day start. We'll hit on him more in a moment. Justin Felix, who was the catcher for the majority of last season, will be the catcher today for the Otters. Dakota Phillips, who also can play some catcher, will be at first base. Easton Skinder is at second. George Khalil at shortstop, and Omar Reyes at third. In the outfield, Brian Rosario in left, Noah Myers in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right field. There's a few returning names, but especially in terms of position players, Lucas, a lot of new faces.
Yeah, no doubt. We've got, as you talked about, we've got Noah Myers out there in center field. A lot to be excited about there. First team All-Big South player with USC Upstate last year. Brings a lot of speed on the base paths as well. I know the coaches are really excited, and here we go. We're ready to get going.
Well, it's been a long winter, lots of snow and rain and dark and cloudy days, but baseball is back. Holdgraver winds and fires home for a strike, and we're underway. 75 degrees at first pitch. Overcast skies and almost no wind blowing softly out to left field. Holdgraver winds and fires. It's outside for a ball, and it's a 1-1 count to Nick Guda, the lefty shortstop for the Washington Wild Things. Baseball is back. Game 1 of 96 here for the Otters and the Wild Things. Here comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Guda, chasing a pitch down low. Holdgraver is an incredibly talented pitcher, Lucas. He had 4 appearances, 4 starts with the Otters last year, and gave up just 2 earned runs in 27 innings pitched. You can't do much better than that. As here comes the 1-2 from Holdgraver. It's fouled away.
Yeah, certainly. I know the Otters fans are real excited to see Tim back on the mound. He had quite the journey last year in the minor leagues, working his way up throughout the Royals and Tigers organizations, but he's back here with the Otters, and there's a lot to be excited about.
1-2 count for the righty to Guda. Kicks and throws, and Guda just gets the end of the bat on it, slices it foul down the third base side. To stay alive, 1-2 count here in the top of the first. No score between the Wild Things and the Otters. Opening day of Frontier League baseball here at Bosse Field. 1-2 coming from Holdgraver. Winds and throws. It's on the inside corner for a strike. Guda left looking. That is the first strikeout of the season for the Otters.
Yeah, Tim really working both sides of the plate there, painting the corners. And Nick Guda, though, you got to like that from the Wild Things. Fouling a handful of pitches off, letting his team see the pitcher. As we talked about, Holdgrafer did not face the Wild Things last year, so letting his teammates see a few pitches there.
Our first German-American bank strikeout of the season. Tristan Peterson, the DH, batting righty, will stand in and take a first pitch low from Holdgrafer. Holdgrafer, native of San Diego, as Lucas mentioned, 5 different teams at 4 different minor league levels last year after he left the Otters. The 1-0 on the outside corner for his strike 1-1.
Yeah, Tim, with 25 games he appeared in the minor league level after leaving the Otters last year. Such an impressive start with the Otters in 4 starts, allowing just 2 earned runs.
Sets the belt, kicks and throws, breaking ball outside, 2-1. All plate umpires, by the way, on this opening day night. Kevin Furman behind home plate, Brad Wilson at first, and Reed Hoover at third. 3-man refereeing crew, or I guess umpiring crew. This is baseball for the Frontier League. The 2-1 is a breaking ball inside, and it's 3-1 to Tristan Peterson. 1 out here on the top of the first. No score on opening day at Bosse Field. Holdgraver, high set, looks into Justin Felix, the catcher. Long wind and a throw. Swing and a miss by Peterson, 3-2.
We've seen Holdgrafer work the breaking ball in a few times. Hasn't thrown it for a strike yet. 3-2 here. It'll be interesting to see what he goes with.
Payoff pitch coming to the righty Peterson. Here it comes from Holdgrafer. Swung on and hit high in the air to left center. Going back, Myers looking up, and it's off the base of the wall. Hustling around is Peterson into second with a stand-up double. The first hit of the Wild Things season goes to Tristan Peterson as he goes opposite field with a stand-up double.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there. Holgrafer's pitch caught the inside of the plate, but really good job by Peterson. Get his hands out in front of the ball, drive that into the gap, and good start here with one out, runner in scoring position. We'll see what they do here.
So bring up Wagner Lagrange. He is the definition of a guy that could hit last season for the Wild Things. Hit .346, second best on the team, and was a Frontier League All-Star. Native of San Juan in the Dominican Republic. Holgrafer winds and throws, and it misses inside, 1-0. Runner at second here with one out in the top of the first. 1-0 pitch on the outside, 1-1. That's quite the journey for Holgrafer, and it's not easy in the minors, but I thought it was so impressive how good he was, and he worked his way up each step. Clearly the Tigers saw something in him. Now, unfortunately, couldn't stay in affiliated ball, but obviously the goal for him is to get back there.
Yeah, no doubt. You never know. You get to that level, you're moving around week to week, having to start with a whole new lineup. A new catcher each week also is worth mentioning. It's not always easy to get on the same page and get that chemistry going with a catcher at all those levels. So, obviously impressed a lot of people, able to work his way up in a couple organizations. So excited to see what he can do this year.
Lagrange swung and missed at the 1-1. So the 1-2 coming from Holgrafer. Sprayed foul backwards and out of play.
Jammed in with the inside pitch there. He's really working both the corners well, keeping the hitters guessing.
It's the third season that Holgrafer's with the Otters. Played a full year in 2021, and then just those 4 games in 2022 before being picked up by the Royals, released, and then picked up by the Tigers, where he worked through all 4 levels of the Tigers farm system, with one appearance at Toledo in September to wrap up the year. Here comes the 1-2. It's again fouled away by Lagrange. The Wildcats doing a good job battling against Holgrafer early.
Yeah, no doubt. As we talked about early in the season, you want to let your fellow hitters coming in behind you see a lot of pitches. They're really having some tough at-bats here.
Runner at second with one out here in the top of the first. First game of the season between Washington and Evansville. The 1-2, breaking ball popped up into the shallow right side of the infield, and Ethan Skinder is over. Ball meets glove, and there's 2 away.
Real good breaking ball there by Holgrafer. 78 miles an hour, takes quite a bit off it compared to his fastball, and caught him on the end of the bat for 2 outs here. We'll see if the Otters can get out of this with a runner in scoring position. Strand him over there on second.
Melvin Novio, the catcher, batting ready, strides to the plate to face Holgrafer, working out of the stretch with Tristan Peterson at second, and 2 outs now here in the top of the first. Holgrafer peeks back at second. 3-stride lead there for Peterson. Comes home, and a first pitch swing by Novia's driven into the left center gap. Hustling around is Peterson. He will score without a throw, and the Wild Things take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Yeah, Novoa real aggressive. As we talked about, he got to see a lot of pitches in those at-bats before him. Comes out, catches the first pitch, see what he likes, and puts it out there in the gap. Early 1-0 lead here for the Wild Things.
Novoa was playing in Italy last summer and then played in his native Nicaragua over the winter. Back in the United States, no problem for him with the first RBI of the season for the Wild Things. So 1-0, and Andrew Check, the left fielder batting lefty, comes to the plate. First pitch sails outside for a ball, 1-0. So 1 run across. Some early adversity here for Holgrafer. High set, big deep breath, and the 1-0 pitch. On the outside corner, 1-1.
Andrew Check, one of those returners, as we mentioned, the Washington Wild Things returning 14 guys back from that team that won the division in the regular season. A lot of returners, big to have a lot of chemistry in a league like this.
Yeah, we knew this was going to be no picnic for Holgrafer in his return to Evansville. The 1-1 misses inside, gets past Felix, rolls to the backstop, and it will allow Novia to easily just jog down to third. So Novia with the RBI double, following Peterson's double. advances to third on the pass ball. 2-1 count to Andrew Check with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Holdgrafer trying to get out of the inning without any more damage. Holdgrafer kicks and throws on the inside corner. It's a strike to Check, 2-2. Holdgrafer only gave up 2 earned runs in his 27 innings pitched with the Otters all last season, and he's already given up 1 today.
Yeah, high expectations, but you just got to move past that, put it in the back of your mind. You got to have a short memory as a pitcher out there.
Working with the pitch clock now. She's certainly flirting with looking at it, but no violations yet as Check fouls the 2-2 away. The pitch clock, while being used, violations will be stopped. The umpire will signal it's a violation. However, it will not count until May 30th. The first 5 series here in the Frontier League, they are not counting the pitch clock violations. They will count for real starting May 30th, which is after Memorial Day weekend. The 2-2 from Holdgrafer, breaking ball high, and it's a full count. He is getting really, really close, though, and to the pitch clock. And I'm typically watching in the majors, the pitchers don't get close, but Holdgrafer's releasing the ball around 3 or 2 seconds, so he's flirting with the clock right now.
Yeah, that's one thing the catchers talked a lot about here, interviews in the spring training.
Payoff pitch, swung on, popped up left side. Over is Reyes, the third baseman, standing right by the third base bag. He's under it and makes the grab. An RBI double by Melvin Novia gets the Washington Wild Things on the board in the top of the first. They lead 1-0. We'll see the Otters bats for the first time this season in the bottom of the first. You're listening to Opening Day Baseball on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. And welcome back to Evansville. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and we'll see the Evansville Otters batters for the first time this season as they face the Washington Wild Things starting pitcher, the lefty Kobe Foster. Foster winds and fires the first pitch strike to Brian Rosario, the left fielder, and we're underway here from Bosse Field in the bottom of the first inning. 1-0 Wild Things lead. Foster with a bright blue glove, kicks and throws, and Rosario sprays one right side, popped up. The first baseman, Check, is over, and he makes the grab. Nice running catch by Check in foul territory, and there's one away. Let's take a look at the fielders for the Wild Things. Melvin Novia is the catcher. Andrew Check, the aforementioned first baseman. Scotty DeBrules at second. Nick Goda at shortstop. Ian Walters is the third baseman. In the outfield, Wagner Lagrange in left, Harrison Ray in center, and Anthony Brocato in right. One away, and the lefty Noah Myers comes to the plate and takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, tough opponent here for the Otters on the mound, facing the Wild Things 2022 Frontier League Rookie of the Year in Kobe Foster. And
Myers takes outside, 2-0.
Yeah, 11 starts last year, 8-1 record. Quite the impressive resume there.
It doesn't get much better than his numbers last year. The 2-0 is chopped up the middle. Over to his right is DeBrule. It rolls under his glove into center field. The first hit of the Otters season goes to Noah Myers.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Just puts it right back up the middle. Gives himself a chance. And as we talked about, Noah Myers, a guy that this coaching staff's very excited about. Coming from USC Upstate, a first-team All-Big South player last season. Played in the SEC with South Carolina before that, and also had an appearance at Wabash Valley Junior College over in Mount Carmel, Illinois, not too far from here.
So he's bounced around, has been in the area, originally from Tilbury, Ontario. Big name to watch for the Otters. He's 1 for 1 on the season. Ethan Skinder, the second baseman, is another new Otter. Digs into the right-handed batter's box to face Foster. First pitch from Foster is inside for a ball, 1-0 to Skinder. Skinder's been in the Padres organization. Was as high as Double-A San Antonio. Now finds himself an indie ball with the Otters. The 1-0 is sliced down the left field line, just foul. That pitch was really high in the zone, and Skinder slapped it down the line, and it just was foul by maybe half a foot.
Yeah, no doubt. Really good swing to put on that by Skinder. Keeps his hands above the ball. Nice level swing. And as you talked about, high pitch like that, you keep your hands above it. You could still do some damage regardless. You got a pitch up there around your letters.
1-1 count with 1 on and 1 out, and Washington leading 1-0 in the bottom of the first. Foster winds and throws, and it's fouled straight back by Skinder. 1-2. So we mentioned Foster's numbers last year. 11 starts. He was 8-1, a 1.0 ERA, and 63 innings pitched. And the thing that maybe impressed me the most, Lucas, was he only gave up 1 home run in those 63 innings pitched. Talk about keeping the ball down. My goodness.
Yeah, no doubt. You got a team like the Wild Things that had a very high fielding percentage last year, and you keep the ball in the ballpark if you trust your defense behind you to make plays. And as we mentioned, a lot of returning guys. He trusts the defense behind him. He knows even if that ball gets put in play, they've given themselves a chance.
That's a great point. Wild Things had the best fielding percentage of any team in the Frontier League last year. 1-2 coming. Just misses inside, 2-2. Foster he's really quite short, not to offend anyone, but he's 5'11", 185, well below the U.S. average, which I believe is 6'1" for males. I was talking with someone about this the other week. I got to check my numbers. Sails outside, and it's a full count, but it's definitely for a pitcher. 5'11" is really short.
Yeah, no doubt. You see a lot of guys perhaps go underlooked because of that, getting into the college ranks. He spent his college career at Tennessee Wesleyan in the NAIA, but a 26-2 record in his college career.
Here comes the payoff swing and a miss by Skinder. Breaking ball at 82 miles per hour, and there's 2 away. Myers still at first, and we'll bring up Dakota Phillips, the first baseman. Otter fans know him more than almost any other player on the roster. He's in his 4th season with the Otters. That's second most of anyone on the Otters this year.
Yeah, the only 2 lefties in the Otters lineup tonight in these first 4 batters. Obviously an advantage there for Foster. We'll see what they can do.
Wind and a fire from the Wild Things pitcher Foster. It's in for a strike. Well, Phillips does look like a baseball player. He actually went to the same school as Kobe Foster. Both went to Tennessee Wesleyan. Phillips is a little bit older, so they weren't on the same team. But same school. Must imagine they talked before the game, and now facing off. Foster steps off, checks over to first. That's Myers back on the bag safely. 0-1 count to Dakota Phillips. Here it comes, runner going. It's popped up by Phillips. Left side over is Walters, and it will get out of play and bounce off the top of the grandstands.
Yeah, 2 outs here. You see the Otters, they're sending Myers on the pitch. Left-handed pitcher, so you can't get too big of a lead. We've seen Foster holding him close over there. But just the Otters trying to push that runner over into scoring position, see what they can do here with 2 outs.
0-2 count to Phillips with 2 outs and 1 on. Tennessee Wesleyan teammates facing off here in the bottom of the first. Opening day at Bosse Field. Foster a long look over at first. Now he comes home. It's outside 1-2.
Yeah, a lot of times when we've seen Foster miss here, he's missing high, maybe not getting on top of that ball as much as he'd like to first outing of the season. Just has to settle in here.
Looking for the last strike of the first. Lefty on lefty matchup. Here it comes. It's chopped right side. In as the second baseman, DeBrule throws to first in time for the out, and the side is retired. Noah Myers gets a base hit, but the Otters leave him stranded. We go to the top of the second. 1-0 Washington on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Bosse Field. We go to the top of the second inning from northern Evansville here in beautiful southern Indiana. It's turned into a fine day for baseball. 75 degrees, overcast skies, light wind, no rain in the forecast. And baseball is back. That's the most exciting thing here. It is summertime again in America, and that means baseball is the sound of the summer for so many people here in Evansville. Washington leads 1-0 as we start the top of the second. Tim Holgrafer trying to get settled down after a rocky top of the first. He'll face Anthony Brocato to lead off here in the top of the second. Brocato, the right fielder out of Hilmeta, New Jersey. Comes the 1-0, fouled straight back 1-1.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a much tougher opponent for the Otters to start with here. The Wild Things, as we mentioned, division champs last year in the regular season, 5-1 in their exhibition games this year. So quite the tough opponent for the Otters to start with here at Bosse Field.
The 1-1 is inside, 2-1. Otters trying to bridge together some success in opening days. They're not been super successful in opening day games in their long histories. The 2-1 is chop foul by Brocato, goes down to one knee. I think he might have hit that right off the toes. He's stumbling out of the batter's box, walking it off. He'll be okay, and it's a 2-2 count. Nobody out here in the top of the second, 1-0 Washington. Otters are just 9-18 on opening days. This is their 28th year of baseball. Comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, popped up high into center field. Myers going back, still going back at the edge of the warning track. Makes the catch. One in the way. Brocato sent that one high up into the Friday night sky.
Yeah, you mentioned the Otters' rough starts here in opening day in their history. Last year, in the month of May, as the Frontier League gets started a bit later than other levels of baseball, an 8-8 start in the month of May last year, looking to hop on, get quite a few more wins this year as we've talked to the coaches with their expectations.
One out, and here's Ian Walters. He chops the first pitch right side. Oh, good backhand by Phillips. Throws to the pitcher. Holdgraver will cover the bag, step on the first base bag, and beat Walters by half a step. What a nice play by Dakota Phillips at first base. There's 2 away.
Yeah, Phillips, a catcher by trade. We talked about he dealt with that hand injury last year. Both him and Felix saw a lot of time catching, and we talked to the coaches. We knew it'd be a chance he'd move out to first this year. Here we see it on the first day, and fielding his position well over there at first with that backhand.
Scotty DeProl, the second baseman, will dig in to the left-handed batter's box. Holdgraver winds and throws. First pitch, strike of the knees, 0-1. The Wild Things scored 1 in the top of the first on doubles by Peterson and Novia.
Yeah, DeBrule here, 3rd season with the Wild Things.
Holdgraver winds and throws. It's outside. And it's 1-1. Big, deep breath from Tim Holdgraver, the San Diego native. Sets at the black glove, kicks from the blue shoes, and comes home. It's inside. 2-1. Sky starting to darken overhead here at Bosse Field. It's an excellent crowd on this opening day night. 2-1 pitch coming. Catches the inside corner for a strike. 2-2, and Holdgraver is a strike away from a perfect second inning. He sets, and he throws. It's outside, and the count is full with 2 outs. Holdgraver's 33rd pitch of this opening night startup coming. Here it comes. Swung on and hit high in the air to left center. Over to his right is the left fielder Rosario. He's under it and makes the grab. 1-2-3. Holdgraver sends him down in order in the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Wild Things 1, the Otters 0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Bosse Field in Evansville. It's a 1-0 lead for the Washington Wild Things over the home team, the Evansville Otters, here at the 3rd oldest stadium in the country. Bosse Field, right after Fenway Park and Wrigley Field. Started in 1915. It was the first ever municipally owned stadium in the country. And it's become one of the most historic parks in the nation. Otters looking for their first run of the season. They trail 1-0. And they'll have Jeffrey Baez, the right fielder, lead things off in the second. He swings at the first pitch, lines it up the middle, and through for a base hit.
Yeah, Baez hopping right on Foster there. First pitch, saw one he liked. Puts it right back up the middle. Like we said, didn't try to do too much with it. A lot of the Otters here simpling up their swings and just trying to put the ball back up the middle. We've seen it work a couple times here. Base hit. Good start to the second inning for the Otters.
So Baez has a base hit in his third season with the Otters. Veteran of both independent ball and affiliated ball. And now we'll face another really experienced batter in Omar Reyes, the third baseman, who takes a big swing at the miss at the first pitch he sees from Kobe Foster.
Yeah, we talked about this week Reyes, a highly touted player in the Orioles organization throughout their minor league system.
The
Excited
0-1.
to see what he can do here this year with the
Swung
Otters.
on and missed. Now, you're right, Lucas. He's really interesting prospect. Guy, we were watching the Jamboree the Otters had on Tuesday as part of their education day, and Reyes, you could just tell, has easy power as he takes inside 1 and 2. He smashed the ball well over the left field fence, and it's one of those where the swing, it doesn't even look that powerful, and he can easily send one over the wall.
Yeah, no doubt. Natural baseball player. We saw him have...
As there's a throw down to second, and Baez is out.
Yeah,
So
Foster caught him there on the pickoff move, and we saw Baez, 26 stolen bases last year, looked to be going on the pitcher's movement, took off, throw over to first, got caught in a rundown there.
So Baez got caught on the bases in a pickle, and Foster turning around and picking him up. Baez went a little too early. So it's now a 2-2 count to Omar Reyes, and the bases have been cleared with 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Foster kicks and throws, and Reyes swings and lines one into left center field. It's down for a base hit, and rolling all the way to the wall. Hustling around is Reyes into second with a double.
Yeah, and that makes that player, Baez, caught off at first base sting just a little bit more. We see an extra base hit there for Reyes in his start with the Otters. Unfortunately, no one on base, and we're starting over again here with 1 out and a runner in scoring position.
That's that easy power, though, from Omar Reyes, easily driving a ball into the gap. Now Jacob Olsen, the DH, will make his Otters debut in the right-handed batter's box. Well, Foster comes in with all the accolades, but as the lefty fires the first pitch high to Olsen, the Otters already with 3 hits off him, not making it easy for the reigning Frontier League Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, no doubt. A pitcher coming off a real good season, that's what you want to do. Jump out. Hitting's contagious. Get some confidence throughout the lineup. 1-0
is sent high in the air down the right side. 3 Wild Things running over, and it is not able to be caught by Walters.
Yeah.
Man, Foster was coming on a beeline off the mound trying to catch it, and then Walters called him up but couldn't run it down. I don't know if that's Foster's style or what. He was in a dead sprint as a pitcher. He really wanted that baseball.
Yeah, no doubt. You see a lot of pitchers in the major leagues letting their third baseman, their catcher, duke that one out there to make that play. I think one thing important to note here, having played at Bosse Field, those foul balls and the weird shape of the stadium, they can be deceiving and come back over your head. It's not always easy to read there on those foul balls behind the plate.
That's a great point. 1-1 to Olsen. It's low and in the dirt. 2-1, and Novio doesn't know where the ball is. It's behind him, and the alert Reyes will race down to third and take the bag. Novio was looking around at his feet and had no idea where the ball is.
Yeah, we saw Reyes hesitate there for a second. Ball caught the umpire's leg, and that caused Novoa to have a hard time finding it.
Certainly seen some opening day rusts by both sides with a couple mistakes. 2-1 count to Olsen. Popped up right side. Over is the second baseman to Bruhl on the infield dirt. He makes the catch, 2 away, and Reyes will have to stay put at third.
Yeah, tough out there if you're the Otters. You got to think, you put a ball in the outfield, give yourself a chance to tie this game up in the second inning. Unfortunately, that one's staying in the infield. DeBrule fielding his position well, working his way over to first base with a good read on that ball.
Justin Felix, the catcher, will dig in for the Otters. You make the point about the foul territory, though, and if you're one of our fantastic listeners on the Otters Digital Network, you might know Bosse Field well, but the first pitch to Felix misses outside for a ball 1-0. It's kind of the foul territory, reminds me of the Oakland Coliseum. It's very round because Bosse Field is kind of built as a circle. And so foul territories, Felix takes inside 2-0, is essentially a semicircle on each side. And there is a lot of room, way more room than you'd expect as a fielder, but then you also have to kind of play with the grandstands deflecting light off it. It's 2-0 coming. It's fouled straight back, 2-1. I guess for a lot of reasons, Lucas, as you said, you played here for a few years with Modern Day High School back in your high school baseball playing days. There's a lot of quirks of a ballpark that's over 100 years old.
Yeah, no doubt. As you mentioned, there's a lot of room to try to make plays in foul territory, but certainly not a simple task. That ball will get up. As you mentioned, the lighting is a bit weird in the stadium for players used to more modern ballparks, and oftentimes that slant around the circle of the grandstand, some wind can catch the ball, push it back over your head. It can be hard to read.
2-1 to Felix. Inside, 3-1. Reyes is at third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. A 3-1 count to Justin Felix. Opening day baseball from Bosse Field. The pitch from Foster popped up behind home plate, and that will get out of play. Bounced somewhere off the grandstand, a little to our left. If it hits right off the press box above us, it makes an extremely loud thunk, which I don't think you've experienced yet, Lucas. I was here for a high school game, and I almost fell out of my chair. It's really loud. That one missed us, though. Payoff pitch coming to Felix with 2 outs. Foster at the belt. Kicks and throws. Felix fouls it off the edge of his bat and stays alive.
Yeah, Foster working a lot of off-speed here late in the at-bat. We've seen a couple of change-up, couple of breaking balls. Really taking a lot off these pitches. Looks like it's been tough for Felix to read, but he's being a tough out here with 2 outs.
Starting catcher in his now 3rd season with the Otters. Second payoff pitch coming from Foster. Here it comes. It's high for ball 4. Really good plate appearance by Felix. He works a walk.
Yeah, no doubt. You foul enough pitches off, as we've seen, his command hasn't been what he traditionally had there on the mound for Foster. And you foul enough pitches off, you give yourself a chance there. Good at bat by Felix.
So that will bring up the number 9 batter, George Khalil, Australian in his 2nd season with the Otters. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound right now as Kobe Foster is meeting with Melvin Novia and the pitching coach for the Otters as well, Alex Boshiers, on out to have a word with the Frontier League Rookie of the Year. I mean, I think we thought going into this game, Lucas, this was going to be a pitcher's duel for certain, but you got to give credit to both sides. Hitters have done a really good job making pitchers uncomfortable.
Yeah, no doubt. Fresh start here for everyone, pitchers and batters alike. And if there's one thing you got to keep in mind, it's just go out there and be aggressive if you're facing a tough pitcher on the mound from last season.
So Khalil digs in and takes a big swing and a miss at the first pitch he sees.
Yeah, Khalil, a .218 average last year with the Otters. Just 25 RBIs, 6 home runs. Looking to improve a lot at the plate this year as if we've talked to the coaching staff.
Native of Melbourne, the 0-1 is outside 1-1. Khalil was an incredible fielder last season at shortstop for the Otters. Turned 59 double plays. But as you said, Lucas, just never really found things with the bat. So back for a 2nd season in Evansville to try to get the woodwork going. The 1-1 is chopped left side. It will stay fair. Gloved by the 3rd baseman across the diamond in time for the out. Good throw by Walters from 3rd to check at 1st. Khalil grounds out, and the Otters leave Reyes stranded at 3rd. Otters get 2 hits but can't get a run across. We go to the 3rd. 1-0 Washington on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Top of the third inning from Bosse Field here in Evansville. The Wild Things lead the Otters 1-0. Opening day baseball. It is so good to have baseball back here in Evansville. Harrison Ray will lead things off for the Wild Things here in the top of the third inning. He sprays the first pitch foul, and it's 1-0. Old Griffin in his third inning of work winds and throws. It's a breaking ball. Check swing by Ray. He went around, and it's 0-2. So Old Griffin, Lucas, tale of 2 innings so far. Struggled in the first, gave up 2 doubles, but then a 1-2-3 second inning looked much better.
Yeah, no doubt. As we mentioned, got to have a short memory as a pitcher. And as we see there, strikes out Ray. Good start to this inning. 3 up, 3 down in the second. Good start to the third here. And Holgrafer put that run in the first behind him, and he's gotten back to work. Swing
and a miss by Ray. That's his second strikeout, and your second German-American bank strikeout of the evening. Back to the top of the order, and Nick Guda, the shortstop, who struck out his first time up. Batting lefty. It sails high for ball 1. 1 out in the top of the third. It's a party tonight here at Bosse Field. I can hear some music bumping. I think that might be out on the patio out in right field. The 1-0 is on the outside corner, 1-1.
Good crowd out there in the patio enjoying that rain that missed, and a nice night, cloudy but dry nonetheless here in Evansville.
Perfect temperatures, low 70s. What more can you ask for? The 1-1 is on the outside corner for a strike 1-2. And hey, when the sun's not out, you don't have to bring your sunscreen. So I think, we all love the sun, but there's something to be said if you're spending all your time outside to make it a cloudy day. Your skin will thank you later. The 1-2 is outside for a ball, and it's 2-2.
Good hitters out here for Gata. As you mentioned, struck out looking last time. Look for him to be aggressive here. Second at bat of the season.
Well, I have it as 2-2. The scoreboard has it as 3-1. And what won't matter is it's chopped right side. Back as the second baseman Skinner gloves it. Throws to first in time for the out. And there's 2 away. And Holtgrafer starting to look more like himself. He has retired 6 batters in a row.
Yeah, you mentioned after that first inning, just 2 earned runs in his 4 starts last year with the Otters. Gave up a run there in the first, but certainly dialed it back in now since then.
Tristan Peterson, the DH, comes to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the third. Holgrafer kicks and throws. It's on the outside corner for his strike, going 1. If you're not watching on Flow Sports today on the Otters Digital Network, the jerseys, the Otters are in their home whites with Otters written across the chest in blue. It's the 0-1 swung on and missed by Peterson. Man, he chased the breaking ball way outside of the zone, 0-2. Wild Things are in the road blacks with kind of red paint striped across the bottom of the jersey and white pants, red piping. Here comes the 0-2. It's another breaking ball in a similar spot, but this time Peterson doesn't bite, 1-2.
Yeah, we saw a good 0-1 breaking ball there by Holgrafer. Goes right back to it. Peterson lays off this time.
Holgrafer at the belt. And the 1-2. Another slider. It's outside, 2-2. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Washington. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Evansville. 1-0 count. And the pitch, inside corner. Did he go? No. Says Peterson, who went somewhat around. I thought he went around, but first base umpire Brad Wilson says no, so it's a full count now. This is where with the pitch clock, there's not much time to wait around. Holgrafer winds and throws. Another check swing on a pitch high. Another check down to first, and he didn't go again.
Yeah, you hear the Otters fans there voicing their displeasure.
Hey, you got to be consistent if you're Brad Wilson. Those check swings were certainly both in a gray area, but they looked pretty similar to each other.
Yeah, no doubt. We saw Holgrafer go with a few breaking balls on the outside of the plate there. Works 2 fastballs inside. Can't get him to bite, though.
First walk of the year by Holgrafer. And his first pitch to Wagner Lagrange is inside for a ball. Holgrafer excellent command. He had just 4 walks with the Otters last season in 27 innings pitched.
Yeah, definitely worth noting there.
1-0 count to Lagrange. He steps off, though. Throws back to first. Peterson back on the bag safely. Washington 1, Evansville nothing here in the top of the third. Opening night baseball here from Evansville. Off to impressive start, really, by both teams' batters. A lot of long counts, foul balls, runners on base. It's not been easy early. So the 1-0 catches the inside corner for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of long, tough at-bats, and if you're the managers in this opening game, you've got guys that haven't played live baseball in quite a while apart from a few exhibitions. It's what you like to see here on opening day.
The 1-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball on the inside corner, 1-2. Lagrange put his arms up in the air as if to get away from the baseball, and it dipped right on the inside corner for a strike, 1-2. Old Graver a strike away from getting out of the third inning without any trouble. Nods, kicks, and throws outside, 2-2.
Yeah, you mentioned Holgrafer in that first inning. Going to the bottom of the pitch clock, working a little bit faster now, still taking it down to similar times on a few of these pitches.
Working out of the stretch, here comes the 2-2. It's off the end of the bat, right side, in as the second baseman Skinner throws to first in time for the out. Right off the end of the bat of Lagrange, couldn't get much good contact on it, and Skinner makes the play to retire the side. 1 walk, no hits. Washington leaves 1 stranded. We go to the bottom of the third. It's the Wildcats in front, 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Baseball. Controlling the commercials now? Yeah. Then we can just count ourselves in. No, we wait 7 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds after that's done. Yeah. It's on the line. There's a few more if you need. Yeah, I need to go on pads or something. Help me. The issue with me was it moved on mine to my throat. Oh. It's on its way out now, you can tell, you know. Yeah. Feel a lot better than I did. Sinus pains all day. Mine's not painful, it's just like, yeah, never stops being congested. Luckily there's enough air to breathe. Yeah. Back at Bosse Field for the top of the third inning here from Evansville. It's a 1-0 lead for the Wild Things over the Otters. Otters trying to win their third opening day game in the last 4 seasons. Just 9-18 in opening days, but have had some success of late. Won back-to-back years in 2019 and 2021 before falling last season to the New Jersey Jackals on opening day. They'll need to get the bats going against Kobe Foster here in the bottom of the third. They'll have the top of the order to do it with Brian Rosario leading things off for the Otters. Rosario batting righty. The lefty Foster kicks and throws outside for a first pitch ball. A 1-0 from Foster. Swing and a miss by Rosario, 1-1. Foster now at 38 pitches here. Through 2 complete and working here into his third inning. The Frontier League reliever of the year last season. Finished his career with Tennessee Wesleyan. 4 years at the NAIA school. 3 years at the NAIA school to make it. And then went straight to the pros here with Washington and has made quite a name for himself. So that caught the 1-1 caught the bottom corner for a strike. 1-2. Now here's the 1-2. It's high for a ball. 2-2. Foster shakes off not one but two signs from Novion. Now he's ready. Throws. This popped up right side and out of play.
Yeah, and there it is again. We talked about nobody being an easy out here on either side. Battling, fouling pitches off. It's what you like to see early in the season.
2-2 from Foster. Popped up. Right side. Back is the first baseman Phillips. Over is Baez. And he makes the grab. Nice sliding catch from Brocato, in right field. Sliding down on one leg to make the grab. And there's one away. Tough play out there in no man's land, but all that foul territory, expansive foul territory here at Bosse Field can pay off in some extra outs.
Yeah, no doubt. You see first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder all going for a ball in foul territory. You know it's going to be a tough play.
Noah Myers digs in. Center fielder takes the first pitch strike. 0-1. Some small children breaking out into a cheer on this opening night is the 0-1. Breaking ball at the knees for a strike. 0-2. Chance of Let's Go Otters down the third base line. Stands are mostly full tonight on opening day. The 0-2. Low and in the dirt. 1-2. Now is the time to go out to the ballpark, really. You get into the July and August months of just brutal heat and humidity down here in southern Indiana. Of course, the evenings are better as Myers lunges at one and swings and misses. He's down on strikes, and there's two away. But now is the really pleasant evenings, perfect temperatures.
We see Foster there really working to get ahead in the counts quickly now in this inning after the Otters string together a few hits, not able to put a run on the board last inning, but getting ahead on the hitters early, and he's got them guessing late in the count here.
Second strikeout for Kobe Foster. Ethan Skinder will step to the plate, take a first pitch strike. Skinder, infielder, played at State College of Florida before, as we mentioned before, joining the Padres organization, and now his first taste of indie ball today. He takes low, 1-1.
Yeah, you mentioned reached AA with the Padres, batted .257 there in the minors. Back here with the Otters this season.
Foster takes a big, deep breath, comes set with the blue glove, and the 1-1. Misses inside, 2-1. Foster wanted the call, and takes an extra long look at home plate and home plate umpire Kevin Furman. It's a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. On the inside corner, 2-2.
Yeah, not a lot different from that last location. Gets the call this time after staring down the ump.
Yeah, sometimes a little extra stare. It can't be too aggressive, as Kevin Furman calls time. Someone once told me that's the best thing to do to get a bartender's attention, too. You can't stare too aggressively, but you got to give them a look. Know that you're there, but you don't want to be too aggressive and make them uncomfortable and make you not like them. Same thing with the umpire, I think. 2-2 pitch. Oh, beautiful breaking ball. Drops into the zone and freezes Skinder. That's the best pitch we've seen all night. That was nasty. Freezes Skinder. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Foster. The pitchers are starting to roll. We're through three complete. It's 1-0 Washington on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports Baseball. 3 complete from Bosse Field in Evansville. It's a 1-0 lead for the Wild Things over the Otters. Opening day across the Frontier League for the most part. There were 3 games last night in the Frontier League, but for the majority of teams, tonight is opening day on this Friday night across the Midwest and the East Coast and all the way up into Canada. Melvin Novio will lead things off for the Wild Things here in the top of the 4th inning. Takes a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, good breaking there by Holdgrafer. You mentioned we came into this game thinking this was going to be a pitcher's duel. Last inning and a half has looked like it on both sides.
The 0-1 pitch is lunged at by Novoa, popped up behind home plate. Catcher Felix reaches up the catcher's glove and makes the catch just a couple steps to the left of home plate, and there's one away.
Couple of nice breaking balls there by Holdgrafer. Really starting to command his stuff the way we saw it last year. You can just tell him getting comfortable back out at Bosse Field again, and that's great to see if you're an Otters fan.
Andrew Check, the first baseman, batting lefty, will come to the plate with one away here in the top of the 4th. Holdgrafer winds and fires. It bounces low and in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Otters in their 14th season under head coach Andy McCauley. What an excellent job he's done here in Evansville. Here comes the 1-0. Just misses inside, 2-0. He's the longest tenured manager in Otters history and one of the longest tenured managers in the Frontier League. Got to check the books on that, but not only has he been here a long time, but he has built a winning culture. So here comes the 2-0. It's outside, 3-0, but also just a culture that the fans embrace and the players really love too, and that leads to winning, really.
Yeah, we saw that league title in 2016, and since then, just being around the team lately, he's set some high standards. They weren't super happy with finishing 3rd in the division, 6th overall in the league last regular season.
Novia takes a strike, 3-1.
Certainly a high standard here for this ball club that he's set, and it's great to have a team with high expectations if you're the city of Evansville to watch every summer.
The 3-1 pitch is chopped right side over as the second baseman Skinder takes a nasty hop, bounces off his glove, and into right field.
Yeah, tough hop there. We saw him work his way over laterally to his left into the outfield grass, and that just, I think if I'm not wrong, that hits the lip there of the grass where the infield dirt meets the outfield and catches a really tough hop that threw that up to near his left shoulder almost.
That was like a car hitting a pothole on the highway, and suddenly you're going in a direction you didn't think was possible. But unfortunately for Skinder, it is still going to be ruled in air as Anthony Brocato digs in and takes a first pitch strike. And I think the reason that's ruled in air is if the fielder is in front of it and sizing it up, if he can't make the play, that's in the manual for scores, that automatically goes down as an error no matter what the hop is. But that was a tough one. The 0-1 is sliced over the head of Skinder and into center field. Hustling from first is Check. He'll make it into third without a throw, and the Wild Things are in business here in the top of the 4th inning.
A good piece of base running there, as you mentioned. Now if you're the Wild Things, you got first and third, one out. Chance here to tack on another run.
So Check reaching on the air. Brocato lines a base hit over the second base bag. There's runners on the corners with just one out, and Ian Walters, the third baseman, coming to the plate. Tim Holdgrafer, his second consecutive opening day start. Couldn't get the win last year, trying to do that this year. Need some more outs here. First pitch swinging by Walters, driven into left field. It's down for a base hit, and will roll all the way to the wall. 1 run will score. Hustling around is Brocato, and he will score as the throw is late. Off the glove of Felix, it rolls behind home plate. Walters took too big of a turn. They'll throw back to second and tag out Ian Walters. So that's the second out, but Walters has a 2 RBI double, and it's 3-0 Wild Things.
Yeah, worth noting there, you saw pitcher Holdgrafer backing up the play at home, doing a little thing to keep another runner off the base path there, but as you mentioned, a 2 RBI double, just what the doctor ordered for Washington. 3-0 up now against the Otters.
Third double we've seen from the Wild Things into that left center gap. Scotty DeBrule will come to the plate with now the bases cleared and 2 outs. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's low for a ball 1-0. So check reached on the air by Skinder. Brocato followed with a base hit to put runners on the corners, and then Walter drives one into the left center gap. Easily scoring check. Brocato really got on his horse, got a good read on that one, hustling all the way around from first. As the 1-0 catches the outside corner for a strike 1-1. The throw home was late, but it bounced off the glove of Felix behind him, and it caused Walters to keep on going around second and suddenly find himself in a jam as they threw back to second and threw him out.
Yeah, if you're a third base coach there and your runner's going to come off with a ball getting by the catcher, you almost rather him just go ahead and take off, see if you could challenge that play at third. Tough play it would have been to make, but you're getting caught going back to second instead.
DeBrule took outside, so 2-1. Here's the pitch. On the right at the knees for a strike, 2-2. 3-0 Wild Things. They scored 1 in the first and now 2 more in the fourth to take a 3-0 lead. Long look in for Holdgrafer. Sets at the bounce, kicks and throws. It's lunged at. Bounces over that Holdgrafer. Charging hard is Skinder. Bobbles the ball and it falls to the turf. And DeBrule will reach it first.
Yeah, little infield single there. Really tough play. Just makes its way over Holdgrafer's head. And in a little hole there where it's tough for second base, especially to make that play. He's got his body going away from first base. Would have been a really tough throw had he made it. You almost rather your shortstop come, his momentum going to first there, but infield single nonetheless.
Harrison Ray, the center fielder, will come to the plate with DeBrule aboard at first. They ruled a base hit. I'm not sure even if Skinder had collected and fired to first if he would have gotten DeBrule in time, considering the long run he had to make. The only play might have been for Holdgrafer, but it bounced perfectly over his head. And for the righty, at only 6'1", he wasn't tall enough to get it. If Kevin Davis at 6'9" was out there, would have been an easy play. Comes the 0-1. It's on the inside corner. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Is not in time.
Yeah, DeBrule there. We saw him show bunt at the beginning of his last at-bat. Takes off there to get in scoring position with 2 outs. And 21 stolen bases last year with Washington. Quite a bit of speed he had at Mississippi State and Jacksonville in his college career. And DeBrule is one of those players we highlighted before the game. Batting 8th, but he appeared in the College World Series with Mississippi State in his 5th year, his COVID year in college ball.
Harrison Ray, the center fielder at the plate. A 1-1 count with 2 outs. It's outside, 2-1. Ray, so we've got on the field right now for the Wild Things, not 1 but 2 collegiate national champions. And actually we got 3 in total here since you're 1 too, but I'll not try to not to give you too hard a time about that. But Ray at home plate won a national title with Vandy in 2019. And then DeBrule at second won one the next year with Mississippi State. How about that? 2-1 swing and a miss. 2-2.
Yeah, a pair of SEC ball players, and that really just speaks to the level you'll find here in the Frontier League. You know, a lot of players that just didn't make it or were overlooked in the minors, and they end up here. 2 players who appeared in a College World Series. Really impressive resumes you see across the ball diamond tonight.
You want guys with championship mentalities on your squad. You have that. Swing and a miss by Ray on the 2-2. He strikes out. It was actually a foul tip. Just got a piece of it and into the glove of Felix. The Wild Things, though, get to a 2 RBI double by Ian Walters. Puts them in front. 3-0. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning from Evansville on the Evansville Otters Digital Network at Flow Baseball.
We're smiling not only because it's opening night at Bosse Field, but because over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental, based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Now, in 2023, he's smiling with Paramount Dental. Look at those smiles on Otter Vision. Great to have you with us on Otters opening night 2023. More from our Paramount Dental Smile Care. One of
Welcome back to Bosse Field, the north side of Evansville, Indiana, on the shores of the Ohio River. Beautiful night for baseball. Overcast skies, low 70s, light wind, and a 3-0 lead for the Washington Wildcats on opening day. Here from Evansville, Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauser, director Michael Rust on Flow Sports. Glad you're joining us wherever you are and on whatever platform you're watching. First pitch to Dakota Phillips, breaking ball missing inside to start the bottom of the 4th inning. Otters have 3 hits and have put base runners on in all 3 innings, or the last 2 innings make it, 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd. Yet to find their first run, though, of the 2023 season. Phillips takes outside, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, and if you're looking for someone to start it, certainly Dakota Phillips is that guy. Batted .313 last year through 42 games before sustaining an injury.
2-0 is Rip Fowl down the first baseline, 2-1.
Coming up here, aggressive, good hitters count he had there. Gets out in front of that ball in the inside half of the plate, just foul down the line, though.
Led the Otters last season in batting average, on-base percentage. 3rd on the team in home runs, and that was only 11 home runs in 42 games, as you mentioned, with the wrist injury he suffered in early June, or early July, I should say. That really hurt the Otters' offense. 2-1. Missing outside, 3-1. The Otters were red hot in the month of June, and from June into July, they had a 9-game winning streak, which tied a franchise record. We're in first place, but from there played around 500 baseball the rest of the season, in large part due to offensive struggles as Phillips swings and misses, and it's a 3-2 count.
Yeah, Phillips, named to the Frontier League All-Star game last year, wasn't able to play, and as you mentioned, those struggles certainly came when you lose a bat like him at the heart of your lineup.
Payoff coming from Foster. Takes a big, deep breath. The pitch clock's winding down. He just got it off, and it's a swing and a miss by Foster. 1 away. Now, if he had waited maybe a half a second longer, that would have been at least a warning from the home plate umpire with the pitching clock violations not into place for another couple weeks. But instead, it's a strikeout of Phillips. And that's 3 strikeouts in a row for Foster now. His 4th of the game, 1 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Jeffrey Baez, the right fielder, to the plate. Kick and a throw from Foster, and it's inside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, you said 3 consecutive strikeouts here for Foster. We've seen in these last couple innings turning to the breaking ball a lot more than he was at the beginning of the game. Certainly finding his command now.
1-0 count coming to Baez. Kicks and throws, and Baez sprays one past a diving Walters at 3rd and into left field, a base hit. How about Jeffrey Baez's day so far? He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, Otters returner picking up where he left off. His 3rd season with the Otters. Not the bat he was used to having last year at the plate, but he's a guy that we know certainly brings a lot of experience in this league. 2 for 2 to start the season for Jeffrey Baez.
Baez played 81 games last year for the Otters. That led the team. So now Omar Reyes, who had a double back in the 2nd inning, strides to the plate, and he takes a first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Well, hold on, he threw over to first.
Yeah, we see him. Foster checking on Baez over there. Picked him off last time.
Should stop looking down at my scorebook so much. Swing and a miss by Reyes. And now it's 0-1. Reyes had a double in the 2nd, but Baez had been picked off at first. So the double by Reyes didn't score anyone.
Yeah, let's see if this heart of the lineup for the Otters can string together a few hits here again.
0-1 is swung on and fouled straight back, heading towards us, but there's a net in the way, so it didn't make it. 0-2.
See, you've got the same reaction as me, always sticking your hand out for balls coming behind home plate at us. I feel like I've done that for quite a while now.
I think you got to be ready in case there is a mechanical error. Nothing is impossible these days, except for pigs flying. That's still impossible, which is why that expression still works. Pretty soon, though, right, as Baez takes line 1 and 2. They're going to figure out a way to do it, and the expression is ruined. They're going to put wings, genetically modify pigs so they have wings. 1-2 count to Reyes here with 1 on and 1 out. It's a 3-0 lead for Washington in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here comes the pitch. Oh, it plunks Reyes right on the inside hip. And there's 2 aboard with 1 out. First time the Otters have had 2 on in the ball, or second time actually make it. They've had 2 on today. Had 2 on back in the second, and they'll have another chance here in the 4th.
Yeah, you saw that at bat. Foster really just wasn't himself. Struggled to get on top of a couple breaking balls and then runs one inside on Reyes. And if you're the Otters here, you just went down 3-0 at the top of this inning. You really don't want to let this opportunity get away from you. You don't want to get late in the game down 3-4 runs. Chance to put a couple on the board here as we've got Olsen up to bat.
DH Jacob Olsen, batting righty. Wind and a throw, and the first pitch outside from Foster. Kind of does that look in to home plate and some disappointment. That wasn't called a strike, but that one looked outside, certainly to me, 1-0. Baez at second, Reyes at first. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Otters looking for their first runs of the season. They did call it a strike. Fouls it down the first base line, 0-2.
Yeah. If you're Olsen here, try to put a ball on the right side of the infield. Move runners over if you can. Shorten up your swing here, down 0-2. And as a player who was drafted by the Cubs in 2019, he's been on a number of teams. Certainly brings a lot of experience to the plate. We'll see what he can do here.
0-2 count. So Olsen, here's the pitch. Swung on and lofted high down the left field line, but foul. Over the wall, but well foul. Olsen just missed one.
Yeah, no doubt. Saw a pitch he liked on the inner half of the plate. Got turned on it. Just put it in the parking lot over there. Hopefully it didn't hit either of our cars.
Mine I strategically parked. It's not hidden mine.
It's something you got to learn about Bosse Field, so you learn quickly.
I've had bad experiences with that, so that's something I always keep in mind. Here comes the 0-2. It's low, 1-2. I was told on the air that my car had been hit by a ball. That was a challenging experience to work through on the air. Luckily, it was actually a very small dent. You could barely notice.
Seems like it would take a lot of courage to keep going after that.
2 on with 1 out, and it's off the end of the bat. Chopping forward, it will be a fair ball picked up by the pitcher. Foster just throws to first for the out, and there's 2 away.
Yeah,
Foster hesitated for a minute, but gets Olsen by a stride.
Yeah, fields his position well there. Checked the runner at second, see if maybe he could make the play there. Ends up just going to first. Trusts himself here. He's got 2 outs. But if you're the Otters, runner on second and third. Catcher Justin Felix up. Base hit here could do some damage and break into that lead of the Wild Things.
Sorry, Lucas. Golden opportunity, though, here for the Otters. Felix walked his first time up, takes a big swing and a miss. At the first pitch, he sees a fastball with some heat from Foster. Otters looking for their first run since September. Here comes the 0-1. It's on the inside corner. It just missed 1-1.
Yeah, we've seen those breaking balls that Foster's missed on have been real loopy, as opposed to the ones he's gotten the batters to swing at have had a little bit more bite to them.
1-1 count, and Foster will step off and just peek back at Baez at third. He was pretty far off the bag, but Walters isn't covering over there. Baez is a good 4 strides or so off third base. It sails high. Novio pops out of his crouch and again looks over at Baez, who just freezes 4 steps down the third base line as if saying, I'm not scared of you. And it's 2-1.
Yeah, neither runner's being held on here. 2 outs. Players just back in their positions ready to make a play, but the runner's certainly taking advantage of that, getting a pretty big lead.
2-1 count, a kick and a throw, and that is one of those beautiful breaking balls as it catches the inside corner. 2-2. Baez at third, Reyes at second. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Two's about. 2-2, 2 outs with 2 on. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Felix, chasing a breaking ball in the dirt. And that's the 3rd out. Now the Otters get a golden opportunity for their first run of the year, but they'll strand both here in the 4th. We're on to the 5th inning. It's Washington 3, Evansville nothing on the Otters Digital Network in Flow Baseball.
Have you seen him in the outer round lately? Make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our friends here tonight on opening night, and Evan encourages you to listen to Federal for all of your banking needs. Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. A 3-0 lead for Washington. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Tim Holgraver remains on the bump for the blue and white on this opening day, Friday night. Trying to keep the Otters within shouting distance. Evansville's had its chances in the 2nd and the 4th inning, has put 2 runners on, but hasn't been able to bring them home. Kobe Foster's done a good job continuing his excellent start in the Frontier League. One of the best pitchers in the Frontier League last year, and it's a tough task for the Otters batters to start the season. They have 4 hits, but no runs. Washington looking to add to their lead. They have 5 hits on 3 runs, so they'll get the top of the order here in Nick Goda, the shortstop. Batting lefty, swings at the first pitch, pops it up down the left field line. Over is Rosario, and he makes the catch. No, he didn't make the catch in foul territory. Goda is aboard. 1 away.
Yeah,
none away.
Little flare hit there. Doesn't catch the bat where he wanted it to, but would have been a very tough play over there in left field for Rosario, as you mentioned. Just catches the inner part of the foul line. One aboard.
Rosario just kind of was jogging over almost like he was going to catch it, but he was just letting that ball drop. So Peterson, will step in now for the Wild Things. Takes the first pitch low. Goda, his first hit of the day, aboard at first, an RBI base hit. Tristan Peterson, the DH, the batter. 1-out count with nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Washington 3, Evansville nothing. The pitch, missing inside, 2-0. This will be the 77th pitch of Tim Holgraver's outing. Here it comes on the outside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, we see second baseman Ethan Skinder shaded over up the middle a bit. Right-handed batter up here, looking to give the Otters a chance to maybe turn 2.
California native Tim Holgraver, his 2nd consecutive start on opening day for Evansville. 2-1 pitch coming. He steps off and throws back to first. Diving back in is Guda, just barely ahead of the throw. Holgraver, mentioned, has kind of been a journeyman, but has also had a lot of success in a lot of different places, including here in Evansville. So here comes the 2-1 pitch. Beautiful breaking ball, just missed low for a ball, 3-1.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of success, a lot of places. Holgraver started his college career at St. Mary's, ends up at the D2 Cal Poly Pomona, and he actually threw a no-hitter there during his college career.
It's down in Southern California in the LA area. St. Mary's up in the Bay Area. So here comes the 3-1. It is fouled straight back off the chest protector of Felix. 3-2. Guda was going. Well, now we'll have to go back to first with the foul ball. So payoff pitch coming from Holgraver to Gouda.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of hit and run action there. You have a 3-1 count. Pulled the second baseman off, so any ground ball to that right side, you got your first baseman holding the runner on. Any ground ball on that right side of the field would have been a base hit with a runner heading to third.
Here comes the payoff pitch. It's popped up foul and out of play down the first base line. We'll do it all over again. Lights have come on into full effect on this Friday night. Dark gray overhead. Can still see the clouds, but soon to drop into full darkness on this Friday evening. Second payoff pitch coming. Here it comes. Breaking ball this time, and it's chopped foul down the third baseline. Peterson and Holgraver will continue their battle.
Yeah, Peterson starting to work Holgraver's pitch count up here. As we mentioned, a lot of players on both sides battling at the plate, working deep into counts, fouling pitches off. Good at bat here.
Payoff number 3, outside for ball 4. Good plate appearance by Tristan Peterson. He's had an excellent opening day, a double and now 2 walks. And there's 2 aboard with nobody out, paving the way for the dangerous Wagner Lagrange. He's 0 for 2 today.
You mentioned 2 walks for Peterson. Both of those at-bats fouled a few pitches off, put the pressure on the pitcher, and obviously paid off there. Nice 1-1 day at the plate with 2 walks. Can't complain about that on opening day.
Out walks the pitching coach for the Otters, Max Peterson, to have a word with Holgraver. There is an arm throwing now down in the Otters bullpen. Trying to see who it is with the number, but get that for you in a moment. It is John Beamer. Thank you to Matthew Will, our Director of Communications up here. The hand numbers are very difficult for someone that's bad at math. It was 18. I got a 1 and then a lot of more fingers. How many is that?
Yeah, that must come with Matthew's experience here at Bosse Field, because
he knows his finger numbers.
Being able to see down there who's in the bullpen.
Yeah, I can't. The glare here, it's the white jerseys. Yeah, I don't know how you can read that number. It is John Beamer, though, the righty. It's in his first season here with the Otters. He's getting loose, and the batter is Wagner Lagrange. He takes the first pitch strike. So there's 2 on with nobody out. And another tough spot for Holgraver to try to get out of. He's limited the damage in both innings. He's given up runs, though. Breaking ball, misses inside, 1-1.
Yeah, sitting around 84 pitches now. Opening day, we don't, as you can see in Major League Baseball, too, a lot of guys won't go all that deep on opening day as compared to once we get into the heat of the summer. Been throwing for a while. We'll see what the Otters do here, if he can get out of this.
1-1 count. Holgraver peeks back at second. Kicks and throws. It's inside for ball number 2. 2-1. This feels like a jam the Otters need to get out of if they want to keep the wild things within arm's length and try to win opening night here at Bosse Field. 2-1 count to Lagrange. Here it comes. It's ripped down the left field line, but well foul. Lagrange was a mile late, but he hit that one right on the barrel.
Yeah.
That might be headed towards the parking lot.
Caught a breaking ball there that he really liked over the middle of the plate. Just turned on it, put it in the parking lot. Would have done some damage had that been in play.
2-2 count with 2 on and nobody out here on the top of the 5th. Washington 3, Evansville nothing. Here's the pitch. Swung on and over the head of Khalil and into left field. A leaping try by the shortstop. He couldn't get there. Hustling around from second is Gouda. He will score without a throw. And the Wild Things extend their lead here in the top of the 5th. An RBI base hit by Lagrange. Khalil gave it a huge hop, but it just escaped over his glove. Gouda around from first, scores. Peterson goes first to third. And that looks like it's going to do it for Tim Holgraver with 4 runs across and still nobody out here in the 5th.
Yeah, LaGrange really was seeing the ball well in that at-bat. Barrels up a few pitches, as we said, that one right before that foul. Gets his hands out in front of the plate. Puts that one into left field as we hear the Otter faithful applaud Holgrafer on an afternoon that I'm sure he wishes would have gone a bit better, but long season ahead for him.
He's been so dominant with the Otters, especially last season. A little bit surprised to maybe not see his sharpest stuff tonight on opening night, but you got to give some credit to the Wild Things and how good they have been offensively tonight and over the last 2 seasons. So John Beamer into the ball game for the Otters. Will step aside on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports, with Washington leading 4-0. Welcome back to Bosse Field. Pitching change for the Otters, the first of the season, brought to you by Business Communication Solutions. John Beamer, the righty from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, in his first season with the Otters, will make his first appearance here at Bosse Field. And he'll face Melvin Nova, the Nicaraguan catcher for the Wild Things, who takes a first pitch strike here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 run is across for the Otters. And there is runners on the corners. Peterson at third and Lagrange at first. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. This call to the bullpen is presented by Business Communications Solutions. Contact BCS for all your business solution needs. 1-1 to Nova. And the pitch. Oh, well inside. Nova has to back out of the way. 1-2.
Yeah, Beamer appeared with the Brewers in the Arizona Complex League last. Was his last experience. Played at a few colleges. Or no, excuse me. Played at Campbell.
I did play at 2 colleges. You got that right.
Yes, sir. Played in the Big South with Campbell.
Misses inside the 2-1. So makes it 3-1.
One of a few Big South players we've seen here on the Otters roster.
The Camels.
Yes, sir. Appeared in 3 games with Milwaukee in the Arizona Complex League last year. 1-1 record.
Here comes the 3-1, and it misses low for a walk. And not the start Beamer was looking for. He has walked Novoa, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. This is the danger zone for Evansville.
Yeah, this is where you're looking. Things could get out of hand here. You want to try to get out of this inning with minimal damage at this point.
Peterson at third, Lagrange at second, and Novoa at first. Bases are juiced with nobody out. And John Beamer, in his first appearance with the Otters, placed in a very challenging situation. Andrew checked the batter. Lefty digs in. The first pitch is fouled straight back. 0-1.
Yeah, we're seeing infield at about normal depth here with bases loaded. Maybe trying to turn 2. Only a play at home if it's really straightforward and simple. We're going to see the catcher come out here. Felix will have a word with him.
Felix going to jog on out, as he said. Have a quick word with Beamer. 6'2", 200 pounds. Mentioned he graduated from Campbell last June. was primarily a bullpen guy with the Camels at a 6.3 ERA with Campbell last season at 50 innings pitched. And then finished the summer, as you said, in the Arizona Complex League, which is rookie ball in the Brewers organization, was signed, and now here in Indy ball with the Otters. 0-1 count, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 0-2.
Yeah, we saw Felix go out there early in the season. You want to make sure you've got a handful of new pitchers on the staff, get on the same page as them. Who knows, maybe it had to do with signs. You've also got a runner on second there. Looks like he's maybe reading the signs Felix is giving, so possibly what they were talking about.
And the 0-2, outside 1-2.
Yeah, and that's something we've seen in the MLB. They've turned to a lot of electronic communication for pitchers and catchers. Don't necessarily have that at their disposal here in the Frontier League, so changing up the signs it'll be for the Otters.
1-2 count to check. Here's the pitch. Oh, he swings and hammers one high in the air to center. Myers is back, stumbling back at the edge of the warning track. Will make the catch. Peterson will hustle home and score without a throw on the sac fly. Lagrange will advance to third. Off the bat by Check. That sounded like it could have been a home run, but he got under it a little bit.
Yeah, but if you're the Wild Things, just put some balls in the air, get a couple more runs across, and with the way Foster's been pitching and the way your bullpen looked last season, you've got to be confident going forward here.
So a 5-0 lead for the Wild Things. Runners on the corners with one out, and Anthony Brocado is the batter. Here's the first pitch, inside for a ball, 1-0. Sac fly by Check, narrowly missing a grand slam. A couple more runs can really put some distance between the Wild Things and the Otters here on opening day. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, popped up, again into center field. Over to his right is Myers in right center. He makes the catch. And jogging home from third is Lagrange, who will also score without a throw. So, you said it, Lucas. It's just basic baseball, but you load the bases and just hit it as far as the eye can see and walk some guys home.
Yeah, good pieces of hitting there by the Wild Things. They know early in the season you don't have to do too much. Couple of sac flies in a row. Get another pair of runs across here on Meyer. Won't go down on his tally, but tough situation, as you mentioned, he was put in.
6-0. Washington leading with 3 across here in the 5th. First pitch from Beamer is inside to Ian Walters, the third baseman, batting lefty. With 1 on and 2 outs. Novia, the only runner remaining, I should say, for the Wild Things after the bases were loaded. The 1-0, outside 2-0. Brocado, the returners for the Wild Things. They returned 5 batters from last year, and 4 of those 5 hit over 300, including Brocado, who not only hit over 300, but hit 24 home runs last year. The 2-0 misses outside for a ball, 3-0. How about that? Led the Wild Things, one of the top home run hitters in the league. And there's just, you think a lot of guys get signed away, which is the downside in indie ball to developing really good players. But the Wild Things were lucky to retain a lot of these top players.
Yeah,
the 3-0 misses, catches the outside corner, actually, 3-1.
That's something you and I talked about here in the press box the last few days. The number of players on both these teams that we're just sitting here looking at their stats saying, man, how'd no one pick this guy up? But that just is a testament to this league. A lot of talent in the league.
3-1 to Brocado. The pitch popped up left side. Over to his left is Rosario at the warning track. Reaches up and can't make the grab. The warning track down the foul line, I should clarify. In foul territory, just couldn't make that catch. We've seen that foul territory give some trouble to outfielders on both the Wild Things and the Otters. That was a long run, though, for the Otters left fielder.
Yeah, tough play that would have been. Works its way over in the corner where the bullpens are here at Bosse Field, near where the foul pole meets where that circular angle closes on each side, and definitely tough with the lights, ball tailing away their left-handed hitter. Good effort, though, by Rosario out there in left.
6-0 lead for the Wild Things over the Otters, and the payoff pitch coming to Ian Walters here in the top of the 5th. Bieber kicks and throws, and Walters swings and drives one into center field. Coming in is Myers. He's there and makes the grab. The side is retired. 3 runs, though, come across for the Wild Things, and they take a 6-0 lead into the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching Frontier League Baseball on Flow Baseball and the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Washington called the bullpen. 8, Greg Lokinen into Dictionary. Lokinen on the mound. Boa behind the plate. That pitch catcher battery is powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Runs your battery to the Answer Auto Repair East.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. We have a pitching change now for the Otters, or the Wild Things, I should say. Day is done for Kobe Foster. He pitches 5 shutout innings. He was terrific. 4 shutout innings, I should make it. Still can't count. 4 shutout innings for the Wild Things. But, hey, the good news for the Otters is that they're going to see another pitcher, and that's certainly, I think, something that they wanted, but they did work up the pitch count on Foster, and they'll now see Greg Lokinen, a rookie left-hander who comes over from the American League with the Lake County Dockhounds.
Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of players on both sides working pitchers late into the count, working their pitch count up, especially for opening day. So, you don't get any runs across, but that's certainly a benefit of that, as we see strike 1 there.
George Khalil, a shortstop, takes a first pitch strike from Lokinen. He winds and throws. Misses inside. Another lefty, though, they're facing. To Foster, the lefty, very effective.
Yeah, if you're the Otters here also, you've got, in just 4 innings, 5 runners left on base. And that's something, if you're Andy McCulley, you talk to your team about, runners are on. You find a way to get them in, as we saw the Wild Things with a pair of sac flies last inning. But straining 5 and 4 a lot.
1-2, and Khalil is left looking and quickly 1 away. So first strikeout for Laukinen. As you're saying, the stranded bases. Lucas, they gave Foster some trouble, which is why he only finishes after 4, but could not bring anyone home. Had base runners in 3 of the first 4 innings as Rosario lays down a bunt, and diving is Laukinen, and he makes the catch. Oh, what a play. Wow.
Yeah. Coming in out of the bullpen, and that's the definition of fielding your position, makes his way over. Almost in foul territory is where that ball took him. Little diving play. Get that one in the air.
I got a great read on it, and it bounced a couple times before settling into his glove. Had to show the ball to the umpire just to confirm that he did catch it. So there's really quickly 2 outs. Khalil was left looking. Rosario goes down as a bunt out to the pitcher, and now Noah Myers stands in, and he's taken quickly 2 balls outside. Laukinen is working expediently quickly. The 2-0 also outside, so quickly 3-0 to Myers.
Yeah, we've mentioned the starting pitchers on either side really were taking their time, working that pitch clock down. Not Laukinen here, stepping right up, and here he comes again.
3-0 on the outside corner, 3-1. Laukkanen is another NAIA prospect. Seen
That's
a few
right.
of those tonight. The 3-0 is fouled. Ouch, off the foot of Myers. Bounced it right off the top of his foot. Laukkanen went to Georgia Gwinnett NAIA school. And then, as we mentioned, this past season, their 2021 season, the 2022 season, that would be last year, with the Lake County Dockhounds in the American Association. Had just 4 appearances there, so kind of getting back into the groove of baseball, but off to a good start here in the bottom of the 5th. Payoff pitch to Myers. Here it comes, outside for ball 4.
Yeah, walk there for Laukkanen, puts his first runner on. But yeah, as you mentioned, was a starter in college, it looks like. Record of 17-4. Transitions to the bullpen for his professional career at Lake Country. As you mentioned last summer, a new team in the American Association they were. Works his way over to the Washington Wild Things, and as you mentioned, a second left-hander they've brought today to face these Otters.
Ethan Skender steps to the plate and takes a first pitch strike from the former Dockhounds pitcher, Laukkanen. 1 on with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. It's a 6-0 lead for Washington here on opening night. 0-1 coming to Skender. It's high, 1-1. What is a Dockhound?
I have seen their logo, and it's a dog wearing somewhat of a bucket hat, and he's like on a dock at a lake.
Okay.
They've got a very nice new stadium. It is turf. I follow them on social media just because they've got a pretty good social media presence. So
The 1-1 is sprayed down the first baseline, carrying back over is the right fielder Brocato to make the catch right at the foul line. It was going to be a fair ball, according to the first base umpire, Brad Wilson, but Brocato with a running catch. And the Otters strand 1 once again. No runs. We go to the 6th. All Wild Things on opening night on Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports and the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Bosse Field in Evansville. It's a early lead for the Wild Things on opening day. They lead 6-0 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauser. Excellent director Michael Rust on Flow Baseball. Hope you're enjoying your Friday night wherever you're watching or listening. It's great to have Frontier League Baseball back this weekend. And don't worry if you have to go to sleep soon or do anything else. We got 96 more of these, so plenty of time all summer to catch baseball, and every single both Evansville Otters and Washington Wild Things game will be on Flow Baseball. And if you'd prefer to listen, every Otters game will be on the Evansville Otters Digital Network on YouTube. So plenty of ways to watch and listen to Otters baseball, and of course, hope you can make it out to Bosse Field at least a couple times this summer. Such a cool ballpark, an excellent atmosphere. Fortunately tonight, though, the Otters have not had too much to cheer about. It's a 6-0 lead for the Wild Things as we start the top of the 6th inning. John Beamer back out on the bump for the Otters to start his first full inning of work. Came in relief of Tim Holgrafer with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. Beamer kicks and throws, and the first pitch sails outside to Scotty DeBrule, the second baseman.
Yeah, as we talked about Beamer coming from the Brewers organization, playing rookie ball there last year, as there's a ball inside, make it 2-0. Had a 2.25 ERA in his few appearances there. Good college career over at Campbell.
2-0 pitch outside, and it's 3-0 to DeBrule. Beamer to the high set, the kick, and a throw. On the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Wild Things. No runs, 4 hits, and 1 error for the Otters. The 3-1 swung on and grounded right to the shortstop. Khalil, he throws to first in time to beat DeBrule by 2 steps, 1 away. Evansville Otters Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Working Distributors Evansville. Old National Bank, your bank for Evansville, your bank for life. Budweiser and Bud Light. 1 out with nobody on. Harrison Ray comes to the plate here on the top of the 6th. First pitch from Beamer is high, 1-0.
Yeah, Ray, 2 strikeouts to start off this game. As we saw, struggled a little bit last year, looking to get things going here. Look for him to be a little aggressive, but there's 2-0, as we've seen Beamer struggle a bit to get ahead in the count here in his second inning of action.
He struggled with his command coming in the 5th as well. Behind 2-0 to Ray, and the pitch. Breaking ball popped up behind home plate and out of play, 2-1. I know you're an Evansville native, Lucas, and you grew up going to Otters games, and maybe for some of the people listening or watching that haven't been out to one or haven't been out to one in a while, what was as well? We'll wait for the 2-1 first here. It is inside for a ball, 3-1. What was your favorite part or some of your favorite parts of coming to Otters games growing up?
Yeah, I think as a kid, as we look out in this crowd, you see fans of all ages. It's just got a really traditional feel. It's something you won't find at a lot of other minor league, high school, college ballparks. As you mentioned, 3rd oldest ballpark in America, still in use by professional organization. And yeah, there's just a lot of tradition here, along with some new upgrades, as I was talking to you about the other day. New scoreboard, new big jumbotron out there in left center.
Payoff pitch coming as the 3-1 was fouled off, and the 3-2 was also fouled off straight back. Yeah, obviously, you want to add some modern twists, but you certainly keep the history. I mean, we have photos here of, we've got one to our right in the press box of when Hank Greenberg, Tigers legend, came to Bosse Field. As here comes another payoff pitch. It's high and inside for a ball, and Harrison Ray will work a walk. There's 1 on with 1 out. You're on the top of the 6th. Washington leads 6-0.
Yeah,
and the grandstands look, I mean, exactly the same, and it's such a cool design. The long grandstands, they're not tall. It allows everyone to be close to the diamond. The press box is different. It looks like it was a little tin box on top of the roof back in 1931. Luckily, it's a little nicer now, but, I mean, it's still, in a lot of ways, very similar to what it was 90 years ago, as Nick Goda fouls it straight back, 0-1.
Yeah. We're not on top of the roof anymore. It's an interesting look there. Interesting that you pointed that out. I've never noticed that in the old pictures. That one we're looking at from the 30s. And as we were talking about the other day, a lot of history in this ballpark. Even some football games have been played here.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Runner goes. It's inside for a ball. Thrown out to second is a good one, but not in time. Good throw by Felix down to second, but Ray just beat it, so he's into scoring position now with 1 out in the 6th, and it's a 1-1 count to Gouda.
Yeah, tough pitch to throw down for Felix there. Ball works in across his body towards the hitter, and you've got to get out of the hitter's way a little bit before you throw it. Would have been a real tough play, but a stolen base nonetheless for Ray. A lot of speed out there.
Second stolen base for the Wild Things today. The 1-1 outside. No. Well, it's been a pretty wide strike zone today by Kevin Furman. He's had me fooled a couple times. Let's call it a strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, first game of the season for everyone. Umps and players alike. Got to work in, get consistent, but
So 1-2 count to Goda. Peek back at second, and the throw home. It's swung on and driven into left center. It's down for a base hit. One-upping in front of Myers. Hustling around is Ray. He'll score without a throw, and it's 7-0 Wild Things. Washington starting to pour it on here in the sixth. Speaking of football, they put a touchdown on the board, and Evansville still looking to score.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there. Obviously a shorter player got the catcher. Gets a ball up around his letters, stays above it. Good piece of hitting, nice level swing. Doesn't try to do too much with it, just puts it out there in left center. But a good RBI base hit.
Tristan Peterson yet to get out today. Comes to the plate and watches a first pitch strike. 0-1 is a new arm throwing in the Evansville bullpen. James Crick, the righty, getting loose. First year with the Otters. Prospect of Hillsdale College in Michigan and coming down from the USPBL last summer. 0-1 count to Peterson. The pitch is sprayed foul out of play, 1-1. 7-0 Washington. They've scored 1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and now 1 in the sixth. Still looking for more. Oh, 2 count. Beamer peeks over at first. High set. And the pitch. Swung on and chopped softly to short. Could be 2. Khalil throws to second, to 1, to first in time. Double play. Well, the Otters tied a franchise record for double plays last year. In big part to George Khalil, who starts that one and ends the inning 6-4-3. We go to the bottom of the sixth. Wild Things 7, Otters nothing on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Frontier League Baseball on Flow Baseball.
It's time for the dance cam, brought to you by Drinks. We need everybody to get up and dance because Drinks is your go-to for 24 beers on tap, big burgers, and the freshest sushi in town. Visit Drinks at 1222 Hurston Road or drinkscomplay.com. Now let's dance. Best dancers get on Honor Vision here this evening. And as we dance on opening night, let beautiful Bosse Field be for your next celebration. But one of our Grand Slam picnics, you and your guests will receive an exclusive Honor Special Edition hat. If you'd like to be a part of Evansville Otters home game, it's simple. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com or call our front office at 812-435-8686. Say hello to Jordan Mudd, who's at tonight's game, celebrating birthday number 15. Let's give Jordan Mudd a big round of applause, wishing her a very happy birthday.
To the bottom of the sixth inning from Bosse Field in Evansville, it's the Wild Things of Washington leading the Otters of Evansville 7-0. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauser. Opening day here at Bosse Field, but it's been all Washington. Otters just looking to get the bats going, and if nothing else, carry in to the second game of the series tomorrow evening. Dakota Phillips will lead things off for the Otters as the wave is starting here at Bosse Field. Phillips fouls the first pitch that he sees straight back.
Yeah, a little lefty on lefty action here. As we mentioned, both pitchers so far for the Wild Things left-handers and 2 left-handed batters towards the top of the lineup here for the Otters.
Laukkanen pipes a strike right down the middle, 0-2. Laukkanen came in the fifth after Kobe Foster worked an excellent 4 innings for the Wild Things and worked around a walk for a clean 5th inning.
Yeah, if you're the Otters here, down 7-0, you know, games may seem a bit out of hand, but you want to get on the board, carry some momentum.
The 1-2 is grounded right side, gloved by the second baseman. DeBrawl throws to first in time for the out, 1 away. Nice read by DeBrawl. Read that well off the bat, worked to the right. Ball was on the edge of the right field grass and ended up making a challenging play look easy, 1 out.
But yeah, as I'm saying, you don't want to get shut out on opening day. Want to put a couple runs across here if you can. If not, work your way back into the game. But either way, we've got to get those bats going as we get later in the series. As we've talked about, Otters 13th in the league last year in batting average.
Well, Jeffrey Baez has done his part for the Otters today as he takes a first pitch strike. He is 2 for 2, 2 base hits. Got all the way to third in the fourth, but no one brought him home. The 0-1 is popped up high in the air into center field. Coming in is Ray. He's under it to make the catch. 2 away.
Yeah, that's the third flyout that we've seen Laukkanen throw here. Come in, done his job out of the bullpen for the Wild Things.
Omar Reyes, the third baseman, will stride to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Laukkanen high set, kicks and throws, and Reyes fouls a pitch off his foot. Reyes has had a good day as well, a double in the second, and he was hit and reached in the fourth.
Yeah, as we mentioned, a nice long swing, big, lots of power. Doesn't always look like he's swinging the hardest, but
The 0-1 is fouled straight back, 0-2. Yeah, 6'4", 240. And at Otters Media Day, everyone was taking photos in the locker room. And Reyes, you just look at his photo and you go, that could go on a baseball card. He looks like a baseball player.
yeah, no doubt.
His misses inside, 1-2.
Got a big, long, powerful swing as we've seen here. As you mentioned, nice double in the second inning. See what he can do here.
The 1-2 is swung on, chopped into center field and down for a base hit. Have yourself a day. Omar Reyes, 2 for 2. He's aboard with a 2-out knock here in the 6th.
Yeah, he's a guy. You and I were sitting there watching batting practice the other day, and what's impressed me so far in this game, as much power as he has, right there, he saw a pitch on the outside of the plate, lets it get in deep, just puts it the other way, doesn't try to do too much. And that's why he was so highly touted in the Baltimore Orioles organization, as we mentioned.
He's ranked as high as the number 4 prospect is in the Orioles organization. Jacob Olson digs in and takes a first pitch strike. And the experience is there. All of Reyes' time mostly at the single-A level. He's played 542 games of professional baseball, and he now has 542 career hits. How about that?
Yeah, that's what can be fun if you follow leagues like the Frontier League. You see guys with wide variety of backgrounds. Some of them have reached almost the point of where they were trying to go.
It's the 1-1 sails high. No, well, it's been a big strike zone today. Catches at the letters, 1-2.
But yeah, Reyes, a lot to look forward to for Otters fans this season based on this first night.
Reyes and Baez have led the way for the Otters. The 1-2 misses outside, 2-2.
Yeah, you mentioned that strike zone. I'm not sure what that almost looked better than the pitch before, but
we're all getting the rust off. 2-2 to Olson. 1 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch swung on, popped up into left field, going back. Lagrange at the edge of the warning track makes the catch. And the side is retired. Base hit for Reyes. The Otters have had a batter reach in 5 of 6 innings today, but still no runs. 3 more to play on opening night. It's all Wild Things. They lead 7-0 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network at Flow Baseball.
If you're hungry, visit any one of our various concession stands. Concessions in the first and third base tunnels. Make a stop at the grill in the outer concourse to try some of your favorite ballpark food. Within pretzel stand, running oxtail stand, our brand new barbecue stand, Evans Barbecue on the outer concourse, and to satisfy the sweet tooth
Welcome back to Evansville. It's 7-0. The Wild Things all over the Otters tonight. New pitcher for Evansville, the third of the game, James Crick, righty from Spring Lake, Michigan, who pitched 5 years at Hillsdale College, an AIA school in Michigan. Getting ready to face the heart of the order for the Wild Things. Try to keep it a 7-run ball game. Lagrange, Novoa, and Chet coming to the plate for Washington. And to see some of the new faces for the Otters here on opening night. His first pitch from Crick is in for a strike to Lagrange.
Goes right at him there with a fastball. It's what you like to see out of the bullpen. Be aggressive.
So 0-1 sails outside, 1-1. Crick, a 3.04 ERA in his senior season at Hillsdale. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and grounded right to the shortstop, Khalil. Gloves it, throws across the diamond in time to come through elite Lagrange. One up, one down here in the 7th in the Otters' debut for James Crick.
The catcher, 27, Melvin Novoa.
Crick was in the USPBL last season, which is was a brand new independent baseball league, the United Shore Professional Baseball League, based in the Detroit suburbs. And Crick ended up being on the championship team, the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers.
It's another team we talked about with a cool logo as we were combing through things this week.
Well, anything with a beaver is cool. There's no doubt about that.
The Oregon State fan in you coming out.
Novoa takes inside. Want to know? You know me too well already. I think any animal around water, we got otters, we've got duckhounds, and we got beavers. Here comes the 1-0. It's chopped right side, gloved by Phillips, the first baseman. He'll step on the bag, and there's 2 away. So 7-0 Washington leads here in the top of the 7th. Well, so the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers go to the championship game, and James Crick actually came in and pitched 2 key innings in the championship game, ended up earning the win in the inaugural USPBL championship game. So gets to go down in some history with the Beavers and the USPBL, which is back for a second year. Always great to see more independent baseball leagues thriving. Andrew checked the batter. He takes the first pitch low.
Yeah, how about that? Like you said, key part of history there for that ball club. He's pitched, keep his pitches low, keeping the pitches down, pitching to contact 2 ground balls so far here in the 7th.
1-0 inside, 2-0. And 6 saves for the Beavers last summer. 29 innings pitched, 2.45 ERA. Here comes the 2-0. It's high, 3-0. I've got another good water mammal. That's a great mascot. The manatees.
What team was that?
I believe there's a minor league team in Florida called the Manatees.
It sounds right.
I would expect you to know
mentioned
that.
it,
We'll look it up. Here comes the 3-0.
My expertise.
It's on the... No, it misses outside for ball 4. Check works. So walk 1 on with 2 out.
My expertise tends to remain in the Midwest, although I work outside of it sometimes. But
I assume the manatee is a mammal. The otter's a mammal. The beaver's a mammal. The dockhound is, of course, a mammal. Debatably, a wild thing could spend time in water, too. I don't know. Brocado swings at the first pitch, rips it down the third base line. But foul. The third base coach for the Wild Things has to get out of the way. On the logo for the Wild Things, what does it look like?
a cat of some sort.
Yeah,
perhaps?
it looks like a wild cat, which is a little confusing because that's a popular name. But go with Wild Things instead. That sails low to Brocado 1-1. That's a great book, isn't it? Where the Wild Things Are. Did you ever read that as a kid?
I believe I did. It was a movie as well, wasn't it?
Right. Yes. That might be my evening activity tonight. So we've got more material for the broadcast tomorrow. The 1-1 outside. Check swing by Brocado. We win it round 1 and 2.
That sounds like a nice, peaceful way to spend an evening in Evansville, Indiana.
Yeah, we gotta get some popcorn. You can come over. I don't have a TV though. I forgot about that. Your place.
Yeah. Living at home for the summer, so that'd be pretty easy.
There we go. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And a good first inning appearance of his Otters career for James Crick. Gets Brocato swinging. We will stretch for the first time this season at Bosse Field. It's 7-0 Washington on opening night.
It's great to have all of you here on opening night. You know what time it is. Time to stand up, stretch, and sing. Here we go. Don't be shy. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Now let's get some runs.
The first 7th inning stretch of the season completed at Bosse Field. Is there any better tradition in baseball? I'm not sure. Sweet Caroline's playing now over the Bosse Field speakers, and the 4,000 fans in attendance still having a good time. Though the Wildcats do lead the Otters 7-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 4,106 fans filling the stands tonight here on opening night. Fantastic crowd here in Evansville. New pitcher into the ball game for the Wild Things. It is Zach Blankenship, third pitcher used by the Wild Things.
Yeah, Blankenship coming to the Wild Things from Valdosta State at the Division II level. Quite the powerhouse in Division II athletics. So a pretty good background there. This is first season in professional baseball. And another lefty for the Wild Things is worth mentioning.
Yeah, how about that? They've thrown 3 of their 4 lefties already. Interesting strategy by their manager, Tom Vaith, but it's worked so far against a still primarily, though, righty lineup for the Otters. Justin Felix takes a first pitch strike. Now here comes the 0-1. Felix pops it up high in the air to left field. LaBrange a few steps back and makes the catch just shy of the warning track. 1 away. It is actually not Blankenship's first summer of professional baseball. It's his second. I know it doesn't say it on Baseball Reference because the USPBL isn't listed, but guess what team he was on? The Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. He won a championship with James Crick teammates. There's a lot of USPBL players now that have bumped up to the Frontier League. Cross rosters. 1 out with nobody on. George Khalil takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, there's our Beavers again, working our way back into our marine wildlife that you and I have been discussing.
We did find that there is a minor league team named the Manatees. George Khalil takes a strike, 1-1 with 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th, 7-0. The Brevard County Manatees, single A. Who are they affiliate of? The 1-1 is low 2-1. We'll figure that out. It's Vieira, Florida. The manatee is a mammal, so that's another great water mammal mascot. The Dockhounds, the Beavers, the Otters, and the manatees. Here comes the 2-1. Off the end of the bat of Khalil to the right side. Gloved by the second baseman, DeBrell. Throws to first in time. 2 away. Good start for Blankenship.
That's the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the game. In left field, number 12, Brian Rosario.
Back to the top of the order for the Otters and Brian Rosario. Rosario 0 for 3 today, though. It's really a spectacular catch made by Greg Laukin, the pitcher, as Rosario takes a first pitch strike back in the 5th inning, maybe the play of the game. Pitcher sprinted towards the third base line and made a stumbling, diving catch. So the ball kind of bounced around his body before falling into his glove. Swing and a miss by Rosario. Actually, a foul tip into the glove.
Yeah, so I did
0-2.
find, Griffin, that unfortunately the Brevard County Manatees are no longer in operation.
Oh, no.
As of 2017,
this is heartbreaking.
They turned to the Florida Fire Frogs.
No. Oh. That's not even a real thing, is it? What's a fire frog?
Getting out of their mammals once we work our way into amphibians at that point.
Right. That's outside 1 and 2. I think as fellow members ourselves, we can just relate better to mammals like manatees than we can to a frog, especially a fire frog. 1 and 2 count to Rosario with 2 outs. The pitch is swung on and chopped to the shortstop. Charging hard is Gouda across the diamond in time. It's 1-2-3 for Zach Blankenship. Second perfect inning for the Wild Things. 7 complete from Evansville. 7-0 Washington on Flow Baseball and the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Evansville comfortable bin. 29. Leone. De La Cruz in the pitch. De La Cruz. On the line.
We head to the 8th inning here from Evansville. It's a 7-0 lead for the Wild Things over the Otters. We get another look at another new pitcher on the Otters. It's Leone De La Cruz, one of the 2 lefties in the Otters pen. Came over from the Gastonia Honey Hunters in the Atlantic League. Actually got in 1 game this season. Has been in the Brewers organization the last 2 years, getting as high as high A. Was pretty good in the minors, 2.19 ERA in 40 games in the Brewers organization. Native of the Dominican Republic, to try to get the 3 outs here for the Otters in the 8th inning. Got some key pieces that the Otters got back in their bullpen. Kevin Davis and James Polancic, 2 of the guys that stand out, but they lose some key pieces as well, especially closer Logan Sawyer. So some of these new guys are going to be key for the Otters if they want to have, again, pitching success this year.
Yeah, no doubt. As we look at last year, second in the league in overall team ERA were the Otters with an ERA of 3.94. Looking to back that up with another strong season on the mound, as here we get a chance to see De La Cruz.
Southpaw winds and throws, and first pitch misses outside to Ian Walters, who had a 2 RBI double back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3 today. 1-0 count, lefty on lefty matchup. On the left side of the rubber, De La Cruz kicks and throws and misses low, 2-0. It's a loud motion from De La Cruz. He's just 6'0", 175, but he sets up on the left side of the rubber. Kind of double kicks and then comes across his body before stumbling off the left side of the mat. Gets a lot of velo on it. Steps to the left, steps to the right, and comes home. And it's inside this time, 3-0. De La Cruz is going to wipe some dirt off the rubber, reset himself, try to find the strike zone. Takes a big, deep breath, comes set, kicks, and throws. That's down the middle, 3-1.
Yeah, you come out first appearance of the season, trying to find that strike zone. As we've seen him mainly turn to the fastball there, finds it on that pitch. 3-1. Good count here for Walters.
3-1, swing and a miss by Walters. He nearly dropped the bat. One hand came off. And it's a full count. I'm going to give you some score updates from across the baseball landscape tonight. Here comes the payoff. Walters swings, pops it up, right side in foul territory. Phillips running in, got a late break on it, but it will fall in front of him in between Phillips and Felix. I'm just not sure if Dakota there over at first really saw it at first.
Yeah, as we've mentioned and talked about, seen a couple times tonight, those balls in foul territory, as we'll see throughout the season here at Bosse Field, can be tough to deal with, but as a home team, it's a play you'd at least like to see someone make a call and try to make a play on that as Felix and Phillips work their way over.
Payoff pitch to Walters, swing and a miss, and there's the first strikeout of the Otters' career for Leone De La Cruz. There's one away. German-American breaks strikeouts. So one out here in the eighth. We'll bring up Scotty DeBrule as we check some scores for you. We'll start with some local MLB teams. The struggling St. Louis Cardinals are on the verge of potentially getting a big win in Fenway. As DeBrule takes inside 1-0, they've scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. Kenley Jansen has blown a rare save for the Red Sox, and the Cardinals lead 8-6 now in the top of the 9th, and they're still batting. Here comes the 1-0. It is at the knees for a strike, 1-1. The Pirates, if you're a Wild Things fan and listening, lost tonight 6-3 to the Orioles, but the Pirates having a great season. They're 21-17. 1-1, a half swing by DeBrule, but he went around. The Cincinnati Reds won tonight, 7-4. Lucas is happy here. He's defeating the Marlins in Miami.
Yeah, good win on the road for the Reds.
And the Cubs trail the Twins 2-1. So those are your local MLB team. 1-2 misses low, 2-2. Nobody on here with one out on the top of the 8th. It's Washington 7, Evansville nothing. Game 2 will be tomorrow, same time, 6:35 Central Time. The 2-2 on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Pretty pitch from De La Cruz. DeBrule left looking 2 away.
Yeah, nice pair of strikeouts in his Otters debut to get started there. De La Cruz working both sides of the plate. Comes at a bit of a 3/4 arm slot there, not straight over the top, not sidearm. Maybe tough to see for a left-handed hitter like DeBrule.
Gets a lot of horizontal movement, too. First pitch to Harrison Ray is chopped right side. One hop fielded by Skidner. Throws to first and in time for the out. Phillips fell down, but keeps his foot on the bag. And the inning is over. 1-2-3 inning worked by Leone De La Cruz and in Otters debut. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It's Washington 7, Evansville nothing on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Baseball. Welcome back to Bosse Field. You just saw, I think, the tail end on Flow Sports, a interesting and entertaining form of the president's race that they have here at Bosse Field between two great southern Indiana celebrities, and William Henry Harrison, who's from Vincennes and is known as the shortest president ever to serve in the United States. It's just 8 days. He forgot a coat as an inauguration, which was ended up being a big mistake with healthcare back in the 1800s. But he also, again, lost again tonight as Mr. Bosse beat him, who's, of course, namesake of this field, beat him in the president's race. So leading off will be Noah Myers, the center fielder for the Otters. Takes the first pitch low from the new pitcher for the Wild Things. It's Justin Showalter, first righty we've finally seen out of the pen. Change as well as that's taken low to Myers. In left, Wagner LaGrange day is done. And off the bench, Robert Chaka, infielder from Kentucky Wesleyan, not too far from here, is in and left. Myers takes inside, and it is 2-0. Make it 3-0.
Yeah, fellow Panther on the field as that my alma mater where I played my undergraduate in soccer. Nice to see Kentucky Wesleyan Panthers succeeding after college.
3-0 misses low for a ball. Not the start Robertson was hoping, or Showalter, excuse me, was hoping for. A 4-pitch walk to start his outing. Myers is aboard, and that's his second walk today. Quick meeting at the mound with the catcher Novio. That's completed, and Ethan Skender comes to the plate, 0 for 3. Showalter kicks and throws, and Skender fouls it off, 0-1. 1 on with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Otters still looking for that elusive run. They did not score in either of their last 2 exhibition games either. It has been a long time since the Otters have scored in any sort of competitive game, as that sails outside 1-1. They split their 2 games with Gateway on the first week of exhibitions, then tied 0-0, and then lost 1-0 at Gateway to close out the 4-game exhibition slate. So there wasn't a lot of offense in the exhibitions, and it hasn't translated over here yet either. Skender fouls a 1-1 away, 1-2. Righty Showalter, second year with the Wild Things. Native of Harrisonburg, Pennsylvania. 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside. No, catches the inside corner. Strike 3 called. I have to complain about Kevin Furman. His calls are just so late. He pauses, and then it was a very meek strike 3 call.
Makes a play-by-play announcer's job a little tougher, huh?
Yeah, I want it quick, and I want it with some oomph. Kevin Furman is taking a sweet time making the calls behind home plate.
Not the most vocal ring-ups.
No, and some guys are. As Dakota Phillips stands in and fouls the first pitch he sees away. Someone was asking me about that a couple of months ago, what my strike 3 call would be if I'm an umpire. Would I be a mellow umpire like Kevin Furman, or would I go a little bonkers behind home plate? Here comes the 0-1.
Funny you say that.
Catches the outside corner 0-2.
Me and a few of my former friends at Syracuse University on my soccer team there, our retirement plan is to form a 4-man umpiring crew for college softball. And we plan on having very elaborate ring-up strikeout calls.
0-2, swing and a miss by Phillips. He's down on strikes 2 away. So you're going to do softball, not baseball.
Yeah, we think really quick game allows us to really get into it.
That's true. That's true. I might be those pitches are coming in even faster though, and from the circle in softball is closer. I think that's harder. So there's 2 outs. Baez coming to the plate with 1 on here on the bottom of the 8th. Washington leads 7-0. First pitch sails outside to Baez, 1-0. 1-0 count with 1 on. Otters have 5 hits, but no runs to show for. Pitch to Baez. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. I think if I was the umpire, I don't want to make a too big show of it. I'm not a flamboyant guy. But, I'm going to be demonstrative behind home plate. I'm going to let everyone know I'm there. Have you guys talked about that? You have an umpiring crew. You got to be ready for your strike 3 call, including in softballs. The 1-1 is inside, 2-1.
Well, contrary to what you said and the way you put it, our attitude was going to be to make it absolutely all about ourselves. But I'm not sure how long we would keep our jobs in the NCAA at that point.
That's true. 2-1.
Might have to balance it out.
Chopped up the middle. Could be 2. Gloved by the shortstop. Sex on the second base bag. There was 2 outs already, so he only needs that out. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. Gouda makes the unassisted ground out to shortstop. Sex on the second base bag. Clean inning for Showalter. We head to the 9th, 7-0 Washington in front on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Baseball.
Evansville out of the bullpen. 10, Eric Fago. In to pitch the battery. Fago on the mound. Felix behind the plate. But you get your batteries powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Pinnacle Road, or give them a call 812-475-9000. Tell them Zane from the Otters sent you. Don't forget opening weekend continues tomorrow with Slay's Restoration, hosting fireworks and Daunhauser soccer. Close this 3-game series on Sunday at 12:35. Big thanks to Sinorama and our opening night sponsor here. Sinorama, proud partner of Evansville Otters Baseball.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. We are to the top of the 9th inning. It's the Wild Things leading by a touchdown, 7-0 over Evansville. Opening night here at the ballpark. It's just been great to be back. Not a lot to cheer for the Otters. Just not been a good night offensively or pitching-wise for Evansville. But some of the good news, they've gotten a couple good nights from some batters. Noah Myers has reached 3 times, 2 walks and a base hit. Jeffrey Baez has a 2-hit day, as does Omar Reyes. And Reyes and Myers, 2 new Otters. So good to see that for Evansville. For the Wild Things, it's been a great night all around. They have base hits from nearly everyone in the lineup. Everyone has reached today, and still yet to give up a run from their pitching staff. New pitcher in for the Otters. It's Eric Fago, another new arm from Alabama. Played 4 years previously at Stenson. Righty from South Carolina. His pitch sails high to Nick Goda, so it is, after the first pitch was a strike, it's 1-1.
Yeah, chance for both sides here to see a lot of players from the bullpen.
The 1-1 swung on and foul, tipped into the glove of Felix, 1-2. Yeah, Otters have been really busy with the pen tonight after the game got out of hand with 3 runs in the 5th. Got a new pitcher in each inning since. Here comes the 1-2. It's high, 2-2. That's the 5th pitcher used by Max Peterson, the pitching coach, in Evansville tonight. Out of 12 active. A lot of them making their Frontier League debuts. The 2-2, breaking ball at the knees, strike 3, freezing Goda. One away. So Fago's an interesting story, primarily a hitter with Stenson and Alabama. Only pitched in his last season, actually at 27 home runs in his 5 years in college. So he was an excellent hitter, but decided as he entered the pros to go the pitching route. His brother is actually a pitcher in the Astros organization, and now starting out his professional career here with Evansville as a pitcher.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of guys. You know, most people in this field probably pitched at some point in their youth or high school baseball career.
Tristan Peterson is the batter, and it's now a 1-1 count as Fago pumps a strike down the middle.
And some guys, as you mentioned, they keep that in their back pocket for later in their career. As you mentioned, played at Stetson, great career at the plate, gets to the SEC at Alabama, starts pitching a bit, and here he is.
1-1 is low, 2-1. 7-0 Washington here on the top of the ninth inning. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Wild Things. No runs on 5 hits, 1 error for the Otters. The 2-1 pitch swung on and ripped into left field down for a base hit for Peterson. He has had an excellent day. He has his second hit. He's reached 4 times today and has 2 runs, looking for his third here in the ninth. 1 on with 1 out. We'll bring up a pinch hitter, Robert Chayka, who entered as a defensive replacement in the last inning. Kentucky Wesleyan grad, as Lucas mentioned.
Yeah, Chayka, good season last year with the Panthers, batted .336 with 9 home runs there at the Division II level. And this, the first at-bat of his professional career.
First pitch misses outside to Chayka. Fago peeks over at first, comes set, and fires home. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The Cardinals have indeed come from behind and have beaten the Red Sox 8-6 tonight at Fenway Park. So that's one of the results of the 3 oldest ballparks in America. Wrigley's not being used tonight. And here is the third result, potentially. It's looking like it's going to be a Washington win. They lead 7-0. Comes the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Chayka. Got to mention a few other scores. There's a big in-state collegiate baseball series tonight. How about the Indiana Hoosiers? They beat Purdue in the Friday night opener 26-11. 26 runs by Indiana, the most runs ever scored by the Hoosiers over the Boilers. Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a miss by Chayka. 1 out.
Yeah, Griffin mentions that Indiana win proudly with his Hoosier backpack sitting by his side here in the booth.
I'm now an alma mater, 1 week exactly.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Me, on the other hand,
I know we're
drinking out of my Purdue cup the entire game.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't even notice that. If you hadn't pointed it out, I wouldn't have seen that. The Boiler mug. The first pitch to Novo is in the dirt, bounces over the head of Felix, rolls to the backstop, and Peterson goes to second. Yeah, it's good these games aren't happening during basketball season, because I think we'd be trading a lot of barbs back and forth about the Boilers and the Hoosiers. And
yeah, no doubt. Good pickup for Hoosier basketball
it's
today.
It's been a
5-star
great
recruit
day.
they've got coming there.
Not only did Indiana baseball get a big win over Purdue, 26-11, hit 8 home runs, but as you said, they pick up big 5-star recruit for Mike Woodson and for next season. Sales high to Novo, 2-0. Indiana softball, though, also had a huge win in the Big Ten tournament semifinals and is moving on to the championship game tomorrow in Urbana-Champaign to take on Northwestern. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on, broken bat, left side, gloved by the third baseman. Reyes throws across the diamond in time for the out. That's the first broken bat of the season. It's a Niehaus Lumber broken bat. There goes some more lumber. Go get your new lumber at Niehaus Lumber. Well, the Otters are going to have some serious lumber in the bottom of the ninth if they're to come from behind as they trail 7-0 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports Baseball. Back at Bosse Field, bottom of the 9th inning. Washington leading 7-0. Last chance for the Otter Bats to get something going here on opening night. They have 5 hits, have stranded runners twice at third base, but haven't been able to bring anyone home tonight. Justin Showalter will be back on the bump, trying to close out this ballgame. Pitched a clean 8th inning for the Wild Things. Omar Reyes will lead things off for the Otters. Got to remind you, our second broadcast will be tomorrow night. Same time, same place, both on Flow Baseball and the Evansville Otters Digital Network. 6:35 Central Time, first pitch. Myself and Lucas will be right back in the saddle tomorrow night, as will the Wild Things and the Otters. Reyes stands in and takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. Sunday we'll have, which is one of my favorite things, Sunday day baseball, 12:35 local time for the series finale. Here comes the 0-1, swung on by Reyes, chop foul, 0-2.
Yeah, Sunday, Mother's Day, get your family out to the ballpark. Enjoy what's looking to be a sunny day here in Evansville. Enjoy a beautiful day at Bosse Field for Mother's Day.
That's going to be terrific. That sails outside 1-2. And if not, your mother can tune into the broadcast. My mom will be.
Absolutely.
1-2 count to Reyes. Here comes the pitch. It's inside, 2-2. Reyes is a bright spot today, we mentioned earlier, for the Otters.
Yeah, pair of hits.
Yeah, you
a
have to
double
get
and
out.
a single hit by pitch.
Well, then now he's getting out. He watches strike 3. There's the announcer's jinx, but he's had a good day nonetheless as he watches strike 3, double base hit and a hit batter. Third strikeout for Showalter, 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, this Wild Things bullpen has picked up where Foster left off, and that's for sure.
Jacob Olsen stands in, takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. Yeah, it's all clicked. Everything today for Washington. Hitting, pitching, starting pitcher. Kobe Foster, Big Ten Rookie of the Year last year, has been terrific for shutout innings, and everyone coming out of the bullpen has looked up to par as well. 1-0 sails inside, 2-0 to Olsen.
Yeah, we mentioned the Otters, second in the league in team ERA last year. The Wild Things not too far behind, 5th in the league, 4.18 team ERA. Two of the top pitching staffs in the league last season were Evansville and Washington.
2-0s right down the middle, 2-1. Give you a quick check of the scoreboard across the Frontier League tonight on opening night. Fully for the league. There was a few games last night as Olsen fouls one away, 2-2. Tonight, every team playing in the West Division. Gateway blew out Florence for a second straight night. They win 11-2. They won last night as well, so they clinched that series. The 2-2 chopped left side, bobbled by the third baseman Walters, picks it back up, throws to first. It will not be in time, and Olsen will reach at first. Walters' bobble cost him a play, and the Otters have a runner aboard here in the 9th.
So they're going to rule that one an error here. First error on the season for Washington. Otters had one tonight as well. Two of the better fielding teams in the league last year. Wild Things were tied for first in fielding percentage last year, but sat back on that ball did Ian Walters. Let it eat him up a little bit, and one on here in the 9th.
Brings up Justin Felix, who is over 2 today with a walk. Takes the first pitch low. Otters trailing 7-0. Elsewhere in the West, the Windy City Thunderbolts leading the Schaumburg Boomers 1-0. Thunderbolts took game 1 of that series last night. They're only in the bottom of the 5th. Imagine that game must have been delayed due to rain. So that sails outside to Olsen, 2-0. And Juliet, in their opener in an interleague game, takes down Sussex County up in Chicagoland 2-1. So that's your West scoreboard update tonight. The 2-0 is hit hard. Left side could be 2. Glove by Walters to second. Throws to first. It is in time for the 5-6-3 game-ending double play. How about that from Walters? Makes the error and makes up for it by turning the double play. And Washington completes a dominant performance on opening day as they roll past the Otters 7-0. An impressive performance for the Wild Things, and the Otters bats, a concern coming into the season, have struggled in the preseason and struggle again tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. At times, we saw the Otters have some success at the plate, but unfortunately, 8 runners left on base is a stat Coach Andy McCullough won't necessarily want to see. But it's all about situational hitting, finding a way to get the runners in, and that's what we saw from Washington at times tonight, picking up right where they left off last regular season. The defending West Division champs take this one 7-0 here on opening night at Bosse Field.
7 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for the Wild Things. No runs on 5 hits and 1 error for the Otters. Well, real quickly, we'll look ahead to tomorrow night, 6:35, again, first pitch on Saturday in game number 2. For the Otters, it will be Zach Smith on the bump. He was a reliever last season for the most part, 8 appearances, 3 starts. They've been really impressed with him in spring training, so he's going to make the Saturday start this weekend for the Otters. And Angel Landaziri will make his Frontier League debut for the Wild Things. So a little bit more of an untested pitcher for the Washington Wild Things. He was in the American League last year with the Sioux Falls Canaries. Otters will try to bounce back tomorrow night. What are you looking for tomorrow night, Lucas?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see Zach Smith on the mound. As you mentioned, spent part of his time as a reliever last year, 3.86 ERA with the Otters, transitioning and continuing that transition into a starter tomorrow night. I believe, if I'm not wrong, we have fireworks here at the ballpark.
We
I
do,
heard
yes.
Zane said, so
Every Saturday night.
we were predicted to have a lot of rain this weekend here in Evansville. Looks like not a lot of it's going to hit us, so come on down, enjoy Bosse Field. Same pitch time as Griffin mentioned, 6:35 first pitch down at Bosse Field. Bring the family out, and we'll see. The Otters struggling at the plate again tonight, as we saw a lot last year, but new pitcher tomorrow, not the same stature as Foster, a good pitcher nonetheless, and we'll see if the Otters can get the bats going tomorrow night. Like we mentioned, 8 runners left on base tonight. It's all about situational hitting, finding a way to get those runners over and in, and limiting those base running mistakes at times, as we saw a player picked off as well.
So the Washington Wild Things get the opening day win over the Evansville Otters, 7-0 tonight. The Otters fall to 0-1. Washington to 1-0, but a beautiful thing in baseball, there's a new game tomorrow. Again, 6:35 first pitch, as Lucas said. We'd love to have you here at the ballpark at Bosse Field. Come say hi in the press box before the game if you're here. And if not, you can join us once again on the Evansville Otters Digital Network on YouTube, or as always on Flow Sports Baseball. For our entire production crew on TV, our director Michael Rust, my great color analyst Lucas Daunhauser, I've been Griffin Epstein saying good night from Evansville as Washington wins 7-0.